remember the first thing I said to you 2 years ago when all this happened.
You do? Wait, I'm not, what?
Think about it.
Oh, I know. Something about the damn terrorist. Damn terrorist. You had to come in early.
Yeah.
Made you come in early. That's it. Damn terrorist. That was it. Something about that.
All right, are we set for today?
Yes.
Bunch of sound stuff?
Bunch
of actualities?
You could not talk for the next 4 hours.
Did my actuality melt?
Sorry, yours melted.
What else did you get?
Got some really interesting stuff. Everything from Peter Jennings live on ABC when the first building actually collapsed, and you hear him, he can't comprehend.
Oh, that's the one I've talked about.
Yeah.
I said that, I think when this happened, the building's going down, and he's going, wait a minute, we have a... Wait a minute. And then a guy on the street, one of the reporters calls in and says the building collapsed. The whole side collapsed? And you can hear it in the guy's voice, the building collapsed, you damn Canuck.
The building is gone. And, you hear somebody right before that, as they're watching on the monitor, you hear, before Peter Jennings reacts, and hear a guy go, oh my God. He's apparently watching it, and Peter's not. I got audio tape from the United plane that went down to Pennsylvania, the cockpit tapes.
Is that 90?
93.
Yes.
United 93. The air traffic control tapes, actually. And then a couple of times when the hijackers actually keyed up the wrong microphone, so you hear what's going on in the cockpit.
I'm sure it was the hijackers or maybe one of the crew.
It's the takeover. You hear three different bits in this. The takeover, apparently the captain is still at the seat being drug out or killed or whatever, and he's grabbed the yoke and probably pushed the push-to-talk switch on the microphone. So you hear about 8 seconds of the struggle in the cockpit.
What's the yoke? I haven't flown in a long time.
The wheel.
Okay. Why do they call it a yoke?
I'm not even sure.
All right.
Except it forms a Y. I don't know why else. Then there's another one where the hijackers, you can't understand what they're saying, but he's out of breath. You can tell there was a fight, and he keys up. And then the third time the guy comes on, he apparently thinks he's talking to the passengers because it's like a public address to the passengers. Please sit down. There's a bomb. We're going back. Everything's fine. But he's, of course, speaking in broken English. But he's talking on the air traffic control frequency instead, so we get those. And then the air traffic controller talking back and forth to him. Another plane then sees them and watches the plane go in. It's very dramatic. It's only about 3.5 minutes. It's way edited down.
I was talking to O'Malley last night. I don't know if he grasped what I was talking about. I think we were talking about two different things. Where I said I've watched the videos over and over, hoping each time it's going to stick and I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
I think he was talking about, do I have this right? You were talking about, I don't get how somebody could do that.
Yeah, and then at the same time, we were on two different levels, but then we're on the same one.
It won't stick. 2 years later, we've talked about it, and I've seen direct results of 9/11. Things have changed, and it won't stick. I don't know how to explain it other than I just can't absorb it. Not that I can't believe it. It ain't.
It's not really three-dimensional because you haven't been there.
I don't even know if I went and saw Ground Zero, it would stick. Because I only briefly saw the World Trade Center 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was, if it was a building I saw every day, and then I went there and it was gone, that might do it.
I've thought about that. You look at big buildings around here.
I've tried to do that, to just visualize, the big NCMB building or whatever it is, the green one downtown.
Right.
If that were to vanish, or if I saw a plane fly into that, and I tried to visualize that, and it still ain't sticking. And I don't know if I'm one of the few, or I don't know. Do you get it?
Not really. I mean, I don't get it as dramatic as it is, as horrible as it is. It's almost like it happened. Well, we see pictures of war all the time on TV. It's hard to grasp what that would be like. This guy's coming back from Iraq. Can't even imagine.
And I don't know if I should be pissed off at myself, or I don't know. I've been really kind of confused for the past 2 or 3 years, or a couple of years.
Yeah.
That's why I said I go back and I look at the video and I hope this is the time that it's going to sink in. And I look at it and go, all right, this is a full-size plane flying into a building. A full-size jet into a skyscraper. and I watch it, and I'll rewind it over and over, and it just ain't hanging. And then there will be an alternate view. All right, for some reason, maybe this one will work.
This does it.
And then there was new video today that was released by some tourist that was here. Was he a Czech?
Czech.
Yeah. Different angle. Mm-hmm. He got it. Looked at that. All right, this is the one. This is the one that's going to make me get it. Nope. And it's kind of disturbing. I mean, not enough to where I would go and seek psychiatric care.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if it's sunk in better, I'd be a lot more pissed off than I am now. A lot more concerned. There was a time the day it was happening, I was getting it.
Yeah.
And it faded really fast because it was all two-dimensional. Buildings go down, and then you hear the different story. Well, at that point, there was an unknown aspect. How far is this going to reach? All right, it hit New York.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the Pentagon, and the one that went down in Pennsylvania. I think the Pentagon was almost an hour later, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or 45 minutes, something like that. And at that point, I'm thinking, well, hell, where else are they going?
What else is going to happen?
Maybe they come down here and they get Glen Rose.
Yeah. For a while, you're right. There was a homeland like Dallas-Fort Worth. Are we under attack also? But then.
Right. And once that passed and once that cleared.
It's kind of sad in a way that just because it happened in a different part of the country that we don't visit very often, if ever, that it's kind of out there.
It's too hard to describe. It's just, I'm too far removed from it.
Yeah.
And that sounds very narcissistic and self-centered, but it ain't my normal everyday thing to go to New York.
Mm-hmm. You okay?
I'm relaxing.
Okay.
All right, you ready to start?
Mm-hmm.
I figure instead of cramming all the 911 stuff into the news, we'll do normal news, and then we can just kind of spread it out. So it's not all concentrated.
We got so much audio. I didn't do any entertainment happy audio today.
Nothing's happy?
There's not. Well, there's just the only movie that's coming out is the one with Antonio Banderas.
I love him. Is that the one that shot on video?
Yeah. I can go.
Well, that makes it easier to get to Blockbuster.
Yes, it goes straight to video, literally.
So today's going to be morose from start to finish.
No, not at all. Not at all. September the 11th, 2001 wasn't morose. Like some people emailed you and got hacked off. We weren't as morose as they thought we should be. Do you remember that day?
No.
Yeah. We didn't have fun, but there were moments that were lighter than others. And we got the information out. And we
you know what? That's right.
Because regular show.
I remember getting some emails, and even McNeil said this the next day. He goes, I couldn't imagine, and this is probably one of the biggest compliments that came out of him. I couldn't imagine anything making me laugh on September 11th, 2001. And he goes, throughout the day, you guys did it. I don't know how. I don't either.
And we lost that show. We were all so busy, I don't think anybody recorded it.
We lose all of it?
I just have a really bad copy of it that a listener gave me. I mean, it's almost inaudible.
And you know what? I'll tell you exactly the reason that happened. We were so concerned with everything that was going on, and not just because of the events, but we didn't have any way to get information into the studio. We didn't even have a TV in there.
I remember.
We had a TV in the conference room that we were watching through the glass, and the best that we could get is the audio run into the studio. Yep. That's how unprepared we were.
Yep.
That's why we have 4 TVs on in here.
Mm-hmm.
All on TV land.
Yeah.
But we have the PIP in case something comes up.
I understand.
But we were absolutely unprepared for that day. Had it happened while we were on the air, that's all you would have gotten.
Yeah.
Luckily, we came on in the afternoon after things had happened. That was another thing. I think the whoever call it was of not having Leno, Letterman, whatever on that night. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was the entertainment shows, if it was their call, or the networks. But I think that was one of the biggest mistakes they made on that day.
I agree. Even the day they had the blackout and couldn't do their shows, they had little drop-ins to open up a best of. So it was like Conan would come on in a dark studio with flashlights on him. You know, I don't know if you saw that or not.
No.
Yeah. And he'd come on and go, we've got a blackout here today, so we didn't do the show. We're going to run you a best of. But, da-da-da-da. In a dark studio. It was kind of...
What is it, Jody?
Hey, Russ.
Yeah.
I may not remember correctly because I listen to you all the time, but I thought y'all were on vacation that week, and we were all surprised to hear you come on that day. It was like, what's he doing in the studio live?
No, I think we were on that week. You may be talking about the war when we came back early.
Oh, you're right. That's what it was. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thank you, sir.
Have a good show.
All right. Anyway, my point is, after a day of absolutely maniacal video and watching it all day, you need to see somebody that you were used to seeing every day in their place, just to give some semblance of normalcy.
And it didn't have to come on and be, ha ha, yuck, yuck, but they could have
just come on and be real.
Yeah, have a show. Hollywood waited, 3 weeks before they got back to sort of normal? Then they had that one show with Billy Crystal and everybody came out and they talked about the war. Kind of a special.
And I know that management here, they were really concerned. There's something else McNeil got. Of all the things he screws up, he got this one right. He called and said upper management wants to go ahead and either simulcast KRLD or carry CNN all day. Mm-hmm. I went, that's not a good idea. And here's why. You need somebody that there needs to be a bonding thing there. Mm-hmm. And he got it. He told them, we're going live at 3 o'clock. And it was a rough day, and it was hard to get through it, and we had little to no information coming in, and we did the best we could, and Benjamin Dover
helped us.
Yeah, did from his home studio, helped us out immensely. Listeners helped. It was one of those days you just needed to go through together, and you didn't want to sit at home and watch the events by yourself.
Right, and just listen to, nameless voices that you don't know.
Right. So, as sucky of a day as it might have been, I'm still glad that we went through it together. Rest of the days I'd have read them in at the house.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you have for stories today? You don't have anything live?
I have happy stories. Yeah, I got regular news stories. Some funny ones. A little bit about DFW opened up a new DPS center today at the airport. That's,
That's a happy one.
It was a big celebration this morning. Just regular news.
Do you have any monkey stories?
I don't. I got one.
Monkey stories are always funny.
I'll find you a monkey story. I promise. No, this is regular news. I'm not going to do 911 news, except just the head stories, just talking about the deal this morning. Mm. But, we got all kinds of cool audio. The very first fireman on the scene there on the radio describing what they see as they pull up. We got the aircraft thing. We got just like 80 different cuts. You could literally not talk all day. We could just play audio.
Really?
Trey's been working. I think Trey by himself has done like 70 cuts.
70 actualities?
Not 70 actualities.
Any of them melt?
Two of them did overnight.
Oh, that's stupid. Obviously, after this week, he knows the definition of actuality.
He did. He learned something.
I just couldn't believe that email when I got it back. How many actualities do we have for Thursday? Chuck the keyboardist is coming up. Maylee Thomas and that Tommy Gospel singer, she's coming up. Dandy. What about the actualities? And at that point, you realized, the people ain't actualities. Hang on a second. We have 7. But yours from out.
He learned the definition. It's okay. If it said sound bites or clips, he'd have got it.
I know it. Hi, Dave.
Hey, what's going on?
Bill.
Hey, I just wanted to give you kind of my thoughts on the September 11th. After watching the news all morning long and being sad about it, it felt good to be able to come back to Buddy's and just hear something familiar, not something so far away. So it was a really good feeling, and I appreciate you guys doing it.
Oh, it's very kind of you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Bye. That was it. That's the word I was looking for. Normal face, normal voice on the radio or on TV.
You're right. Leno and them should have been on that night.
Yeah. It didn't have to, like you said, it didn't have to be a great big show with a band and whatever. They could have had news people on there. Yeah. They could have covered the events that were still going on. They could have done it from the set and just reacted like you reacted as a human being.
Again, remember how those shows were put together. The hosts are not used to that. They want everything written down, pre-interviews, jokes are written or on the teleprompter. That they're just out of their element doing that.
I think they missed a big opportunity.
I do too.
And I'll tell you exactly. That's why Letterman's ratings were so high after he came back from that heart surgery, because that show, he was real. Had the surgeons on there, teared up. These guys, saved my life. the side of him that people don't get to see that often.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to see my soft side because it ain't none of your business.
I think we do.
No, you don't.
Okay.
All right, you ready to go?
Yep.
All right, 3:30, J.D. Ryan's on Live 105.
Thank you, Russ. It's brought to us by Smirnoff Ice and by Joey Internet.
Captain Morgan's Parrot Bay Coconut Flavored Rum. Mix it with sizzling parties and endless summer nights for a totally sensory experience. Joy.net. Quality internet for $6.95 a month. It's fast, reliable, and secure. Internet with no advertising, just clean, straightforward service. Go to www.getjoi.net.
Thursday, September the 11th, 2003. Harry Connick Jr. is 36 today. Moby is 38. Christy McNichol is 41 today. Tommy Shaw of Styx is 50. And it's Tom Landry's birthday today.
How old was he? Would have been.
He was born in 24. It didn't say here.
All right, so that's 76, and then add 3, that's 79. Yeah, I'll take 79, Alex.
You win.
All right.
The nation marked Thursday with moments of silence and public and private reflections on the more than 3,000 lives lost 2 years ago on September the 11th, 2001. At Ground Zero, bagpipers and drum and guard escorted an American flag to where the World Trade Center towers had stood as children sang the Star-Spangled Banner. Other children, some in tears, read the names of their parents and loved ones that killed in the attack.
I don't listen to radio this morning. Any of the stations do dead air from it?
Not that I heard of. I know.
Just curious.
Two of the hit stations.
Yeah.
At the time that the first jet hit.
Yeah.
We're playing commercials.
Okay.
Dallas Fort Worth International Airport honored a fallen September the 11th, 2001 heroes today with a dedication complete with bagpipers there also, a military flyover. I live right by the airport. It scared the hell out of me. As the doors open on a brand new airport facility that is designed to cut down on the response time in the event of emergencies. Food Lion grocery store in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. Man walked into the store, bought $150 worth of groceries. He paid with a $200 bill.
Wait. This gets better, Eddie.
They gave him $50 in change. Of course, there was no such thing as a $2 bill. Certainly not one with George W. Bush's face on it and the motto, "We like broccoli," on the bill. The spokesman for Food Lion, trying to maintain some composure, said, "We normally don't even accept bills over $100. You know, he had to go sit in his car and sound like Eddie. Just all the way home.
I probably might have taken it, except for the broccoli part.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hi, Dave.
Hey, Russ, how you doing now? You guys were talking about 911 and just, connecting with somebody that you know. Well, it was either that day or a couple of days afterwards. You guys were clowning around and you made some comment about any terrorist wants to try to take over this radio station. And all I heard over the air was all the slides on those Glocks racking back. And you guys were cutting up talking about how Eddie was, looked like he had enough ammo on him to start a small war.
Eddie looked like the Frito Bandito.
Yeah, right. It cracked me up because it captured that feeling of, all right, you schmucks, you want to start something, let's go.
Yeah, you caught us off guard. It's just like, right after they attacked Pearl Harbor. You caught us off guard. Now, we got to drop that great big goose egg on you. Sorry, it's out of our hands. We went to McNeil.
They're real big and bad when they're fighting women and children. You want to try some armed-motivated men?
Yeah, that was the other thing that made it, such a cowardly attack. And I don't care what Bill Maher says. Yeah. It was such a cowardly attack because it was attacking innocent people in a building, had no way to get out, weapons. Defend themselves. There was no way that anybody was going to shoot them down.
Right.
And they did it.
And it's just, they're real good at mouthing off, but when it comes down to, throwing hands, it's like, all right, guys. You know what I mean? So, anyway, just want to let you know.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Right. Eddie brought some special weapons today, too.
I think I forgot and left my Glock at home. What do you got?
There's plenty here.
Ready? Really?
645.
Let me see it. I don't even know what a 645 is.
There's other things in the trucks we won't talk about.
Illegal?
Nah.
Oh, that just looks like a big... Yeah, take that out, would you? Could you, did a bullet come out? Let me see it. All right. Yeah, that's a big 45.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing in it, right? All right. Boom! I'm going to point this at you. You know it's empty. Look at the size of this barrel. This is what I was looking at. Okay. Well, here, you take the gun. You stick it in your own face.
I believe you. Wait a minute, is this a trick? No. His fingerprints were on it. We're sorry we tried to stop him.
John, not on the air.
Okay. Oh, my God, yeah.
Stick that a little closer to your face. That's what I saw when I got held up that night at Pizza Inn.
Oh, man.
The guy just shoved it right in my face and went, "Give me all your cash." How'd you get that in there?
A bowling ball. How'd you get that in there?
I'm looking at that. I'm not even paying attention to what he's saying to me. I'm looking down the barrel of the gun, and it's like, what?
That's huge.
That is. It's huge just to look at it right now. It's even huger when you got it shoved in your face, and you know that the guy on the other end wants something from you.
And there's an actual bullet also looking at you.
And it was funny because when he stuck the gun in my face and went, "Give me all the money," I went, "No." And, of course, the waitress that heard me say that thought later, she goes, "God, that was so brave." I went, "No, don't." She didn't realize. I went, "No, don't shoot me."
The other part didn't come out.
Right. I didn't have time to say the rest of it. You ready? Take that back. JD didn't fall for it. Hold on. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I was just wondering, Russ, I don't know how old you are, and forgive me, but
that's quite
JFK, my mother and my dad know exactly where they were.
Yeah, I was only 3 when that happened.
Okay, but do you know exactly where you were and when you officially heard about what was happening?
I was asleep.
You were?
Matt Waters, our computer guy, calls me up. Matt's already a nut to begin with. And, obviously, this one time he was right. But any other time, in fact, that's what I did. I just kind of blew it off. Matt goes, he called me. Where'd my megaphone go?
Right there.
Oh.
Russ.
What is it?
Under attack. They're flying the building in the World Trade Center.
Matt, I'm asleep.
I said the World Trade Center.
Matt, you're playing a computer game. Let me go.
Oh, no.
So I get up, I go turn on the TV, and I've got it on NBC, and about that time, we think the first one's already going, and they caught on NBC the second one going into the second tower.
Live, yeah.
And even at that point, I didn't realize what was going on. Because I really thought, first of all, what kind of idiot flies a building into a plane? Vice versa. The other way's even weirder.
Yeah.
And then the second plane flies into the building. I'm going, what the hell's going on? They stick some kind of magnets in those buildings and they're sucking aluminum? And then, obviously, then I figured out, even at that point, they're doing this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for answering my question.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help relive the moment. Bye.
Yeah, you woke me up and I flipped it on. And I just thought it had been maybe a tourist plane or something that had hit.
That's what I thought when Matt was telling me about it. All right, some idiot in a Cessna 172 or a Lear or whatever flew into the World Trade Center. Whoop-de-doo.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Then a second one flies into it. It's like, dude, this ain't, if you guys are playing, follow what, you quit it.
Yeah.
It, honest to God, didn't dawn on me what was going on even after the second plane flew in. Because I'd never lived through anything like that. I just thought it was a couple of idiots that picked the same day to start doing dope.
Yeah.
But Matt was absolutely freaking out when he called me that morning. Because, he's been in the military, and he's a conspiracy
nut.
I'm thinking of a more serious word.
Okay.
But he's one of those to begin with. Eddie, you've talked to him, haven't you?
Yes.
I don't even know the first thing to ask. What was the latest thing that he sent out? There's some... I'm trying to remember. It was some long email, and imminent danger is still... Something bad is about to happen. You have any idea what it is?
I don't think I got that email. I really don't. The last thing that I remember talking to him about, we were talking about how Al-Qaeda likes to send out videos just prior to them doing something. And
That's a signal.
Yeah, he's kind of...
Maybe that's what it was.
It'd be like me sending you, happy birthday, and it's not your birthday, but that's the signal to you, go do something.
Oh, okay.
Well, they like to release the tape so that they know that every station in the world is going to carry an Osama bin Laden tape, so that way it's like a signal no matter where you're at. If you've got something you can do, go do it.
Okay.
He took off early today.
One. Just in case?
Yeah, gonna get ready.
See?
Don't laugh. Eddie's ready. In more ways than that cig.
Well,
I'll tell you off here.
Let me turn the mics off really quick. Hold on. I'll just place, let's see. Here's some hold music. Are you guys sharing the same paint can?
No.
You're both huffing out of the same can.
No, we're not.
You honest to God, both of you didn't bring...
Yeah.
You see your mouth.
There's no paint. I only did it because Eddie did it.
What a coincidence. Both you guys show up at the same party wearing the same...
Yeah.
Well, in case something happens, might I borrow somebody's weapon?
You may.
Okay. Take this. We'll continue. How are we doing on spots?
It's a heavy day.
It's a heavy day? Are they making up for last year where we didn't play anything?
I think so.
Yeah, John?
Yeah. I thought lighten up your day a little bit. Old Kid and Kelly are going to be there with you at Aerosmith and Kiss.
I just leaked. Are they really?
Yes, they are, and they're proud of it.
And chances are they probably got good seats, too, so they're probably going to be in the box right next to us.
Yes, that would be... I just thought you might have to come up with some way of antagonizing them, knowing they were going to be there.
That won't be hard. Just by me being there is enough, but thank you. Thank you. All right. Good.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Romanian phone sex workers are not hot. We know this because Romanian phone sex worker named Ella was doing some shopping at one of the regular customers when one of the regular customers recognized her by her distinctive sultry voice. He started beating her up about the head and shoulders because she wasn't as hot as he thought she was. Ella says the man felt betrayed. She says, quote, "I don't look so nice. One of my legs is actually shorter than the other." The guys call those sex services. They think there's really hot chicks are sitting there doing that. I used to know a chick that did that. She was every bit 330 pounds.
Do I know her?
No.
Okay.
No. But she had a great voice. In fact, she used to call me at a radio station a long time ago, and she did have one of those. That's when I first learned the better the voice, the fatter they are.
Right.
Tommy Chong was sentenced to 9 months in federal prison, fined $20,000 today for selling bongs and other drug paraphernalia over the internet. The 65-year-old was allowed to remain free until federal prison officials can tell him in a few weeks which prison he's got to go to. He'll spend a year on probation after he's released, by the way. Ted Nugent being sued by a New Hampshire woman for child support for her 8-year-old son, whom Nugent fathered. Remember, he's been married to his current wife, Shemaine, since 1989. 42-year-old Karen Gutowski is seeking more support plus legal custody. And by the way, Ted, whose website proudly brags he was once Father of the Year when one of his kids' school, allegedly acknowledges that this is his child, but he's never met him. And according to Karen's lawyer, he was paid, quote, minimal support since the boy was born back in 1995. And speaking of other folks, of course, we know by now J-Lo and Ben Affleck have called off the wedding for now. They say they're going to do it privately somewhere else. Here's some other J-Lo information you may not know. In the late 90s, J-Lo got evicted from an apartment in West Hollywood for leaving her dog unattended in the building for 3 days. J-Lo was off having sex with Puff Daddy at the time, and her dog was locked in the apartment, was scratching, barking, whining, etc. The manager went into the apartment, found the dog left without food or water, and had obviously urinated and defecated all over the apartment and scratched up all the wood floors. They asked her to leave. Good. There's news and information. I'm J.D. Ryan, live 105.3, The Talk that Rocks, Texas.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show.
All right, let's do traffic here. Hi, Gail.
Hi, sweetie.
What do you got for a sponsor?
I've got Just Brakes,
All right. Your IQ is just stop and think about it.
Call the brake safety experts at Just Brakes today and ask about their 4-wheel friction reline for as little as $99.88. Just Brakes. Just stop and think about it.
I can't hear my cue. I'm assuming it's time for me to go. Okay. On westbound 635 LBJ at Forest Exit, there's a crash. On westbound I-30 East R.L. Thornton at First Avenue, the 2 right lanes are blocked. On eastbound 20 at J.J. Lemon, a crash causing a backup to 408. And westbound 20 at St. Augustine, the jackknife semi. Southbound Loop 12 Walton Walker at Singleton, the 2 left lanes are blocked. Northbound 35 Simmons past Valley View, there's a crash. In Fort Worth, westbound North Loop 820 past I-35 to North Freeway. This involves an 18-wheeler. And Arlington on westbound 20 past Cooper, a wreck involving an overturned car, and that's just some of it. And this is also brought to you by DirecTV, where you'll find great movies, sports, family programming, and more, all in digital quality picture and sound. Call DirecTV today at 1-800-DirecTV or visit a participating retailer right now. And I love you. And I'm Gail Lightfoot on Live 105.3, the Talk that Rocks Texas.
All right, thank you, Gail. I'd tell you what the radar looks like, but it's a mess. Showers everywhere. 67 for the low tonight. More rain on into tomorrow. Cooler because of the cool front coming through. 75 should be the high tomorrow. Right now we have a flash flood warning for Tarrant County, so be careful for low-lying areas. And we have 70 degrees at Live 105.3, the Talk that Rocks Texas. What did you do?
I screamed at Gail's ear. I was eating the oatmeal too fast, and it's hot. But I have to eat my fork like feeding is almost here. I had a dream about my personal trainer last night.
Really? Mm-hmm. What happened? She's warming up to you quite a bit.
I don't think so.
I do. Sat in the office last night, stayed longer as she had to.
Well, she stopped. Well, she stayed before, and we've had conversations.
Yeah. She likes you.
Nice.
Period. Talk about her boyfriend all you want to.
She has a boyfriend.
Supposedly. You ever met him?
No.
She ever brought him up? Brought his name up?
His name?
Yeah. Like
no.
me and my boyfriend did this weekend.
No, in fact, she's the Friday night that she stayed and trained me, because normally they don't do on Fridays. Right. We just do Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. And we missed a Wednesday or Thursday, so she offered to come in on a Friday. She said she got grief from somebody about that, but wouldn't say from whom.
Mm. I'm telling you. What was your dream about?
She just crawled all over me.
Really?
I didn't even have to chase her. She just jumped. I just went, I can't stand it anymore, and just crawled all over me. Tight little hot tan body, blonde hair, great big cans.
She naked in the dream?
Yeah. No. Because I was curious to what she looked like naked, and I didn't see it.
Oh.
It wasn't that long of a dream. In fact, I was more shocked as it's going on. Why can't I ever realize that I'm dreaming?
I know. Let it happen.
I was more shocked that it was going on. And then,
yes.
Excuse me. I woke up. There wasn't anything else to it.
Good dream, though.
Yeah, it was all right.
At the start, if you asked Tawana, she'd say, you're putting it out there, the world is showing you what's going to happen.
And I put a lot of faith into that, except for one thing.
What?
She's a nut.
I know.
Did she predict 9/11? Because that's a pretty big one to miss.
No.
If you're every psychic that claims that they're a psychic,
she said something.
Everybody should have gotten September 11th, and they should have got it pretty accurately. Either the towers, or the Pentagon, or the plane that went down in Pennsylvania.
That'll be interesting to ask her. We're back on her side. I don't know if she has old predictions or not.
How much you would have bet she twist something into it?
Yes, I said that. I believe she said something like, children will cry or something. That reminds me. I can't remember.
Oh,
I know.
She's good. Did she really say that? She's good.
I know. I don't remember. No, she did not say September the 11th, 2 large airlines will fly into the World Trade Center. No. Nor anything like that.
Mm-mm. Let's see if she answers her cell. And then you got a bunch of audio, right?
Tons.
Okay. You take her off the air first. Flash flood warning for Tarrant County. Hey, Claude. Can I talk to Amazing, please? Yes? All right. I'll wait. Tell her to wipe. Front to back. God. That's the way us women do.
I know. You're not a woman.
Yes.
What? No.
Hi, Amazing.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I just came downstairs and thought that I'd watch Ellen DeGeneres for a moment and go back to work.
Oh.
You don't like her?
I haven't seen it yet.
She's good. Hello?
Never mind. Doesn't matter. She has sucked at everything else she did. I can't imagine this being any better. I guarantee you she'll leave all the lesbianism out of this.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what killed.
She hasn't.
Is she talking about it?
No, she sort of, but not quite.
I don't care about her sexuality. I don't care to hear about her bumping clams with anybody else.
Well, she doesn't talk about that.
Well, what does she talk about?
It's just, just innuendo. I mean, I like her.
Fine, then you go watch that.
Okay.
We were talking about this, and I can't remember if I asked you this before or not. Did you predict anything for 9/11?
You mean, yeah.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
What did you predict?
I predicted that it would a new Unabomber would hit in a place that we didn't expect.
She's good.
And I spelled it BOMBER because I thought it was an airplane. I didn't know it was two. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I also said that there would be a plane crash over Ohio, that it would be in that area, and that it was real strong, that I had a real strong feeling about that. And I can't remember exactly what I said. Of course, it's on the web.
Mm-hmm.
I put those up every year.
Right.
So it's there. But someone wrote me back and said it wasn't over Ohio, it was over Pennsylvania. And then someone wrote me and said, well, it was over Ohio for a long period of time before it went down in Pennsylvania.
That is true. They were talking to Cleveland Center when it went down.
Uh-huh.
All right, so maybe you get credit for that one.
Okay. Are we doing scoring here now?
Kind of, sort of.
Oh,
it just seems like all psychics that would, be really good psychics would have picked up on 9/11. It just seems like there would have been a lot of strong vibes on that date.
Well, what I saw was this. I saw the Twin Towers, but I thought Nostradamus had said something about it, and I wasn't going to say anything if Nostradamus did. And yes, I did know that we were going to have some terrorism. I wasn't exactly sure what date and time as we usually have, but
right.
I thought it was going to be. But to me, terrorism doesn't necessarily mean that it comes from another country. It can come from within our own country.
Well, that's happened. That happened in Oklahoma.
And I called that one. I called that one.
What'd you say about that one?
I was in front of a...
You say somebody was going to park a truck full of manure in front of a government building?
No,
you say that? What'd you say?
I said there was going to be a bombing in the Heartland, and I did it in front of a bunch of people at a luncheon that were media people. Sure did. As a matter of fact, the day that it happened, one of the media people,
the Oklahoma Heartland,
a newspaper person, called me and said, "Do you remember what you said?" And I said, "Why? No, I don't. But tell me again what I said." And I had already put it somewhere else too, on the web and a couple of places. Yes. And he said, "You predicted this, and you said where it would happen. Now who did it?" And I told him.
You said Timothy McVeigh?
I didn't say Timothy McVeigh, but I.
Well, what did you say?
I told him what the people looked like, and I told him that it was men.
She's
and I
good.
told him what they look like.
Man. So what was the closest thing you had to September the 11th? The one in Ohio? Something about Ohio?
No, that and the Unabomber. Those both. The Unabomber, I kept seeing a bombing, and the plane was a bomb, okay?
Yes.
Also, I think...
And all the guys flying the plane had unibrows.
Had what?
Unibrows. They have that one eyebrow that goes straight across.
That's true.
Yes. So maybe you meant the unibrower.
No, I did not.
This country was attacked by the unibrower.
No.
You were so close. She's good. You're good. You're good. She's good.
Anyway.
You should go back and change that on your website, the unibrow.
No, don't touch my website. I like for people to know that I did it and that I haven't touched it.
All right, everybody wants to know. Today, between now and the end of the year, you see anything?
I think and I don't necessarily think it's this year, but I think we're going to have 4 more terrorist activities close to 9/11.
Okay. Over the next 4 years or next year? Or
I think it's either going to happen this year, next year. It could happen the year after, but I think it's
good. Wow.
Yeah.
You're good.
It's there, and I think it's 4 happening. One's chemical. I think you're going to see an explosion again. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there might be one having to do with water. but I don't know what the fourth one is. I think there's...
Why don't you throw animals in there someplace just so you got everything covered?
I think there's a chemical like I see smoke or something of that nature with it.
What about any of the nuclear power plants?
It could be that, because that to me is chemical, okay?
Yes,
even though I know it's nuclear.
Right.
It's chemical.
It's nuclear chemicals.
It looks foggy to me sometimes. I think that's...
I'm sure it does.
Well, you know what I mean. Don't you?
Yes. All right, so we need to expect anything chemical, near the water.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one?
I think it's drinking water be one.
Yes.
Okay, and then I think there's an explosion, but I don't know what the fourth, and maybe there's two explosions, and it might have to do with, again, train, plane, it might be a train, or something that carries, that looks like the train compartments, you know?
Or an ice cream truck.
Something of that nature.
Possibly a moped or a wagon.
And I think we are going to see it. I think that Americans have not...
It'll be a great big missile or a BB gun.
They will be
decided. Watch for people with Red Riders.
And I think that we've got some sick people in the world that do things like this.
And you don't know exactly when this is going to happen. What are we supposed to do? Stand in the front yard with our hands on our hips?
I think we ought to all pray.
Or is it?
Because I think prayer works. You know, I think it works.
I don't know that I believe in prayer anymore.
I do.
Why? Because your dog died?
Because my dog died, because all this rotten stuff has happened.
What's happened to you? What's happened?
I'm just talking about in general. First of all, that pothole is still out in front of the building that I'm hitting with a new car. I prayed about that yesterday, and the damn thing's still there.
Well, why don't you call somebody that you know can come fix it? And give prayer. Prayer is a unity of thought sometimes, okay? And JD knows that this works. Mm-hmm. If you pray, it says in the Bible, if 2 or 3 people get together and have the faith of a grain of mustard seed, and that's very, very tiny, and believe in the same thing, and believe that it's going to happen, it will. And I think our world needs to get together as a whole and have faith and pray together that we should abolish terrorism in any aspect. And when we realize that we're a small,
she's a sweet baby, though.
Yeah.
Place,
I think she's growing weed in her mouth.
And not things now on the worldwide scale.
Yeah.
She's right about prayer, but the world will never do it.
Well, for instance, the media we know about it instantly, but you can also carry sickness.
And, Claude's in the background listening to her on the air, and he's going to tell her when she gets done.
Yeah, that's why I don't go out.
I'm surprised he hasn't come in and said something to her now.
And people don't realize that. So if we can say prayers and get the energy of those prayers working, then it will change the world.
Must be very loud there where you are all the time.
Why?
All the Ferris wheels and the water rides and stuff, living at Disneyland.
No, it is not.
Praying about this all the time is not going to do any good.
It will do good if people pray together.
I think a lot of times prayer is for lazy people. I think sometimes you got to go out and do it yourself. It's a lot easier to pray and ask somebody else to do it as opposed to getting up off your ass and doing it yourself.
But no, that's part of it. You have to put it into action too. But
you didn't say that. You just said pray about it. That's asking God to do everything. I think we're meant to go do it ourselves.
Faith without works.
Well, I think
faith without what?
Faith without work is dead.
Yeah.
Faith,
and
you
I
can
agree.
believe and sit around and pray all the time. God also wants you to go out and do something.
That's what I'm saying. Why pray about it? Go out and do it. Stop asking God to do everything. We'll do it.
But you have to do it.
It's like police and fire. How many fires do you think would get put out if a fireman sat in a house and just prayed that nothing ever lit up?
I agree with you.
318 Smith Street, go out.
Yeah.
Go out.
I agree with you there. You believe it or not, I agree with you there. But I think you ought to put into action your prayers, but I think you ought to have the prayers too.
Okay.
Okay?
So, do you see any imminent danger today? Because JD and Eddie came heavily armed.
No, I don't see it today. But I will tell you, I had my reservations this morning. And I remember when it happened before, and you called me that morning.
Did I call you that day?
You called, and yes, you did. And sometimes whenever I think something's going to happen, I won't turn on the television because it bothers me so badly. And you called and told Claude to turn on the television, and I remember that morning very well. So I'm not having that feeling right now. Generally, when something like that's going to happen, it feels like I've got an earthquake or a hurricane going on inside me for a few days beforehand. But I think it's...
What were you going to say, John?
Speaking of her, she brought up the word hurricane.
Yeah.
This one that's Isabel that's coming in. Can you give us an idea where that might hit?
Here it comes.
I hear an L for some reason, and now is it coming towards? I haven't seen that.
Actually, they were tracking it today, and where it ended up, the computer models all show that it was going to head towards the northeast.
Okay, I hear an L, a city like an L.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're good. She's good. Yeah.
That's not northeast though. It might be an L or have two L's in the name.
Okay.
Perhaps.
It's coming right toward Florida and Georgia right now. But they say it's going to veer a little bit north.
Okay, that's not a good thing.
Okay. Well, we'll call and tell them that then. All right. We got to go.
Thank you, dear.
Love you.
Love you, too.
All right. The Amazing Dewana Bird. Her website is somethingnutty.com.
CD Bird.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
All right. Trey, who is that? Is that come in here and tell me. What are we doing, Eddie? All right. We'll make this quick. Who's on the hotline?
That is Captain O'Loughlin. He's with the New York Fire Department. They're in town for the opening of the DFW new
cool.
public service facility.
How'd you hunt him down?
Through DFW.
Oh, all right. It's Captain O'Loughlin. Captain?
How are you, sir?
How are you?
Blinking and breathing. How's things?
Everything's good down here. Where were you on duty 2 years ago?
I was at home in Long Island 2 years ago when I received a phone call to turn on the television, and life had changed for me forever.
Were you anywhere near? I don't know how New York is laid out or Manhattan or anything. Were you anywhere near Manhattan?
Well, I'm about 50 minutes away. I was able to assemble my uniform real quick, and the only difference between me being here talking to you right now and me being on the list of those who perished is the fact that I stayed home to let my dogs out, which delayed me getting into the towers, and sadly a lot of my friends and coworkers perished.
How long after the towers collapsed did you get there?
I got there with a department vehicle just as the second tower came down.
So there were still firemen going into that even after the first tower had collapsed?
Well, the tough part is in New York where, just like most departments down here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, firefighters are very aggressive. So when your brothers are in there, you'll do just about anything to make sure that they get out. And when the first tower went down, everyone wanted to get people out of the second tower. And when you know your brothers and sisters and even civilians are in there, we go running in when everyone else goes running out. So it was a tough day and a tough afternoon trying to regroup and figure out where we were and who we lost and what we were going to do next.
And that's one of the stories that or one of the images I remember from 2 years ago is all the smoke and the flames and stuff, and you see fire trucks not driving out of, but into the smoke. It's like, dude, where are you going? There's nothing that can be done right now, and I guess you guys just do it because you gotta.
It's like the military. They fight their battles with guns. We fight ours with hoses. But
I'm telling you, had I been driving one of the fire trucks that day, you'd have guys gotten a nice view of Omaha. There's not a chance in hell I'd have kept going. That's just...
Well, Russ, that's why people in America step up and volunteer in their communities, and people in America step up and become cops and firemen, and other people become corporate CEOs making the big bucks.
I'm glad the fact that there's somebody out there that does it, because like I said before, left up to me, I'd be hanging out at Epcot Center. It's just...
we all say that. You know? I hope you send me a postcard from Epcot Center, but I'll be in New York doing what I got to do.
How have things changed just on the streets of New York after all that happened? Do people talk to you guys differently? Do you have people stop by for tours?
You know, it's funny you say that because firemen were always, the buzz of little kids. But now I think they're the buzz of a lot of people. You hear with hats, New York hats. New York became a personable town again. It took a tragedy such as the World Trade Center and an act of terrorism to make us realize as Americans that we need to be better and tighter with each other.
Do you think that's why things were a little better organized when, or people responded better when you just had the blackouts not long ago?
Just what I was about to bring up. Look at that blackout. A couple of years ago, it would have looked like L.A.'s riots.
Right.
But now, what happened? Everybody slept out in the open on the steps of major things in New York, and we had very little problems.
How many friends did you lose in the event 2 years ago?
Too many. There's 343 members of the fire department, 37 members of the Port Authority Police Department, 23 New York City police officers, and about 2,700 civilians. And you get tired of going to funerals, you get tired of crying, you get tired of wiping your eyes. There comes a point where hopefully now as a department we'll start to rebuild and move on. But we were graciously invited down here to DFW by Chief Alan Black, the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport Fire Department. They dedicated a fire rescue station to New York rescuers today.
Very cool. How's the facility look?
Oh, it's incredible. You know what? Those guys out there, they plan for the future. They look at what's going on, and they have a nice bronze plaque. You ever get a chance, stop out there, dedicated to the New York rescuers. They're planning for the future. And, by the way, they think your radio show is hot stuff.
They don't know me out there.
Telling you. This is what they told me. They gave me the whole vibe on you.
They're on dope. Don't listen to them. All right.
No, they're just high on life, Russ.
How long are you in town?
We're in town till Saturday. Tomorrow night is Police and Firefighters Night over at Texas Ranger Stadium. We'll be throwing out a pitch beginning of the game. So far, the food's been great. Hospitality's been great. Nice turnout at the ceremony today. And Dallas-Fort Worth people are a home run. Everybody's friendly.
Well, you're not that far from us, so if you guys decide over the next day and a half that you'd like to stop by, we'd be honored to meet you.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your time and your service.
Thank you, sir, for having us, and keep up the good word out there.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
All right. Captain Jack O'Loughlin from the New York Fire Department. I wouldn't have gone to work that day.
Well, I think you would. If you were a fireman, you would have.
If I was a fireman, then I would have a different mentality, and I would have, it's just...
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't imagine driving into that big puff of smoke, knowing that one tower had already collapsed.
Eddie has some of the audio of actually that fire truck you're talking about disappearing into the smoke. It's an eerie clip. You hear people running, you hear chaos, and you hear this single engine
going in. We have to break. All right. You're doing a fine job today, Trey.
Thank you.
You've been a good boy.
And the people at DFW obviously do love you because Captain O'Loughlin knew about the foundation, the parade.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So, I mean...
Did you tell him about that?
No.
Because you've been a very good boy.
He asked me about it. No, then I elaborated for him, but...
Let me ask you something.
Oh, no.
After you've been a good boy?
Oh, no.
You're going to learn not to come in here.
After your mom's done mixing the cake mix, does she let you lick the poon?
He's done such a good job. Leave him alone.
I didn't ask him to eat it. Have some decorum.
Sorry.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show on Live 105.3 with J.D. Ryan, Associate Producer Eddie Boyd, Dan O'Malley on the phones, Gail Lightfoot with traffic, and producer Trey Trenholm sitting in his office.
All right, 422, J.D. Ryan is here, Eddie Boyd, Trey Trenholm, Dan O'Malley, Gail Lightfoot. What time is Sister May Lee and Sister, what's her name, Tommy Lee West? Tommy Young West. Yeah. Time's she coming up, you know?
Sure, I do not know. And Trey will tell me here momentarily.
And Chuck, you got your keyboard? Let me hear it. Play something. I'm not getting enough level. Does that have any more level? You turned up? And I'm only getting the left channel. I mean the right channel. Didn't I ask them to have this done before I got here?
Yes, you did.
I could throw it into mono. But now it's not in stereo.
Nope.
Eddie, go get somebody to fix that. I'm tired of jacking around with this. I asked them a day and a half ago. Actually, I think I asked last week.
Trey says depending on traffic around 5.
Okay. All right. Oh, and I guess I got to read the...
Yes, you do. Speech.
I said I'd do that today, didn't I? Police fire.
Yes, you did.
Perhaps at the end of the show, if we have time.
Oh, we will have time.
You don't know what we got.
We can run late.
Hi, Officer Mondo.
Hey, buddies. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, quick question for you in reference to the police fire posters that y'all got going.
See?
saw on the website that they're on sale. Is there a way we can pick them up at the station?
No.
Are they ready for pickup at the station along with DVD or what?
No. Everything's going through the internet. It's too much confusion going on. I want to keep everything just handled through the website.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and order it from the website then.
Okie doke.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Video should be ready to go?
Yeah, soon. We'll start shipping things out in what, about a week?
Yes.
They working on it? All right. Let me hear it. There's a short in something. I still got no left channel. And now that's over my plate. Thank you. Have them plug it into something out in the hall and work on it. There's a stereo right out there. Plug it into that. Have them play until we figure out what the left channel is. You get plenty of time. Wish I had said something before just now.
The other engineers are at the transmitter. So
doesn't make any difference. This is on-air stuff. This needs to be handled. How many 9/11s do we have? And we knew it was coming. It's not like it snuck up on us.
No.
Oh, what do you got here? This audio from when the first tower was hit?
Right. And some of the stuff that Eddie put together.
Who did we steal this from?
All of it comes from so many different places. I'm not sure where this came from.
Okay.
Some of it is self-evident, but it'll be a CNN reporter. Peter Jennings obviously will be ABC. The air traffic control stuff I have came from air traffic control people.
All right. This is the first tower being hit. I know that video. I can tell just by the audio. That's those guys that were working on the street.
The French, photographers that were following one of the.
Yeah, they were following somebody, and there was something off to their left, and the camera guy panned off to the left just in time to catch it. I think Eddie figured out they were probably 8-9 miles away just by how long it took from the time that the plane hit the building to the time you heard the explosion. And that had to be monstrously loud for it to catch their attention. Because planes go over New York all the time.
Yeah, they don't come screaming in at 600 miles an hour.
That's what I'm saying. That low and that loud.
God. It's frightening.
Appears tower number 2, at least from our vantage point, appears to be unaffected. This appears to be entirely in tower number 1.
It's amazing to me that anybody stayed in tower number 2 after that happened.
Yeah,
I'd have been out in a half a minute. I don't care which floor I was on.
I agree.
Just to get out and let somebody know, hey, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But you know what? Going back, it's easy to think about now because we know both towers got hit and both towers collapsed. Maybe I wouldn't. You know what? Maybe I wouldn't have. Maybe I wouldn't have thought of anything like that.
I mean, window and watched it and gone, look at that.
Yeah. Damn, that plane flew right into that building. That's the weirdest. Oh no. Really? I mean, now that I think about it, I think that would have been my mentality. Because you certainly wouldn't think there's going to be another one of these coming from my tower.
Yeah. I just think I've often thought of the visual of the person that's on the 85th floor when that second plane comes in. You know what's happening. You see it on the horizon, nowhere to go. And it's coming right at you.
It's just, you wouldn't have time to think about anything. No. What are you going to do? Hey, that plane's coming at this building, and it's traveling, 500-600 miles an hour?
Yes.
Some of this stuff you just can't, unless you saw it happen, and chances are if you saw it happen, you're not alive. You really can't comprehend. All right. Audio number 2 is when the second tower got hit. Now, this I saw.
Right. We all saw this live.
Right.
We are now looking at flames shooting out of the north side of number 1 World Trade Center, but there are at least some windows blown out.
into... There is an explosion. The explosion is incredible! Both buildings at World Trade Center are definitely on...
Was that Holy S guy everywhere that day?
Every time something hit, that's what people said, you know.
Oh, but it sounded like the same guy. I gotta listen to this again. It's...
We are now looking at flames shooting out of the north side of number 1 World Trade Center, but there are at least some windows blown out.
Here's another plane just flew into... There is an explosion. The explosion is incredible! Both buildings at World Trade Center are definitely on fire. There is black smoke coming from both...
I'm just trying to visualize it. I'm just trying to visualize being there, covering this, watching everything that's going on, being worried about the people in the first tower and what's going to happen there, and then seeing this happen at the second one. At that point, I'd have been headed for Omaha. Just because at that point it was obvious we're under some type of attack.
Right.
The first week it could have been out. It could have been days before we figured out. So we got the black box that it was a terrorist event. Had that second plane not come in, I don't know if it had been days, but it had taken a while. Had that been the only plane...
Yeah, we had the phone calls, the 911 calls off the plane from people saying, hey, we're being hijacked.
If it was from the first plane.
Right, from the first plane.
Had they not hijacked the others, it had taken us a while to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
They get everything fixed out there?
They're working on it.
What does that mean? Just tell me.
They're just trying to figure it out.
What's to figure out? It's a stereo keyboard. I just want it plugged in stereo in here.
For some reason, it's not playing stereo out there right now either.
Oh, okay.
It might be his keyboard.
Yeah. Go ahead, Stephen.
Yeah, I was just going to comment that when they had released those 911 tapes, I guess a couple of weeks ago, I was reading one of the articles about it, and that they had stated that one of the 911 calls was somebody in Tower 2 calling in and asking, should we evacuate? And they typically told them not to worry and not evacuate.
Kind of makes sense, because if everybody's coming out of that building, it's going to block, police and fire trying to get into the area. And like I said, who's going to think another plane is coming? They're going to hit the second tower. It's really easy now because we got all this stuff to look at. Yeah. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. This next one's tower number 2 hit. Again?
Probably. Different angles, different sources.
Closer and closer. What is for? Helicopter pilot talk. I want to hear that audio of where they can't find Flight 93.
Okay, that's just track number 2 on this one. Now, this whole thing lasts about 3.5 minutes. You have to stop at a couple of places and I'll have to tell you what actually is going on.
I'm fine with that. Take this while it's queuing up. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, Russ and JD. The question I had for you guys is, of everything that happened that day and everything you've seen, what's the most haunting? What stuck with you, whether it's the buildings collapsing or the airplanes going in? Of everything that happened that day, what really bothered you the most? I mean, I know it's all bothersome.
To me, it's the video of the person falling, holding the back of their head. Almost like they're in a hammock, falling from the top.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. The people jumping, I can't shake that. The people
the couple that jumped holding hands.
100-story building.
They jumped holding hands?
Man and a woman jumped holding hands.
I missed that one altogether. Yeah. I saw the guy with the head hammock thing.
Just going down.
See, and to me, because the images were so small, little pictures of people, it's still, it ain't. It's just, I can't absorb it. And there again, maybe it's just because I'm shallow. And I'd like to say I got it all, and this has affected me as it has anybody else, but I ain't getting it. Turn that music down. I'm being serious here. What do you got on in the background?
Oh, that was my phone, my cell phone. I apologize.
Oh, that's quite all right.
Well, no, there's no wrong answer to that. I mean, you had firemen rushing in, and
I think probably when the tower collapsed, because at that point I knew that there was no saving. First of all the people on the ground were going to die as the tower's going down, and that building was an absolute wash. Everybody in there, that was gone. And that was the one where Jennings wasn't getting a handle on what had happened. Yeah. You have that audio now?
That's cut one on the same.
Thanks, Rob.
All right.
On this one?
Yes. This is the first building collapsing. They're talking about something else as it starts to happen, and then the street reporter interrupts him. Right when he goes, well, wait, we have something going on. You can hear somebody in the background scream, oh, my God.
Got it. The OS guy wasn't there?
No, he was on the street.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You say cut 1, right?
Correct.
Okay, here it comes.
All aircraft currently in the air over the United States have been ordered to land at the nearest airport.
I think
One of the hang on a sec, Darren. I just want to check one thing because, John, we now have, right, what do we have? We don't.
Yeah, it's exactly what I told you. He's watching the puff of smoke and he doesn't know what's going on.
Mm-mm.
All aircraft currently in the air over the United States have been ordered to land at the nearest.
You know what? That was probably one of the most surreal moments after this happened, was sitting outside looking up at the sky, and there ain't crap.
I know.
And there wasn't crap for days.
I went by DFW. Well, I live right by the airport. Driving home. You look at all the airplanes sitting on the ground. Not a one in the air. It was spooky.
It was just so, it was eerily quiet outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All aircraft currently in the air over the United States have been ordered to land at the nearest airport.
I think
One of the hang on a sec, Darren. I just want to check one thing because, John, we now have, right, what do we have? We don't.
It looks like a new plume, a new large plume of smoke.
Peter, it's Don Daly down here. I'm 4 blocks north of the World Trade Center. The second building that was hit by the plane has just completely collapsed. The entire building has just collapsed. It folded down on itself, and it is not there anymore.
The whole side has collapsed?
The whole building has collapsed.
The whole building has collapsed?
The building has collapsed.
We are talking about massive casualties here at the moment, and we have... Whew.
That's it. He just didn't know what else to say.
Well, up until that point, you thought, okay, rescue, there's obviously going to be a lot of people dead. We've lost a plane. We've lost the people on the plane, and whatever floors were immediately hit. Mm-hmm. But there's still, in your mind, there's still a rescue possibility. So all the firemen, everybody else in that building at that point, that was.
They're going up the stairs.
Right. And if I understand right, firemen were still going into the second tower after the first one collapsed.
They did.
How we doing, Eddie? Do we? I'll take these really quick. We'll break. Hi, Rob.
Hey, how you doing, Russ?
Good.
JD? Good to talk to you. Hey, this guy called in a little while ago about the most haunting moments. And I thought that one of the most haunting moments, but one of the best, was when the guy called his wife from the airplane, crashed in Pennsylvania, and said, me and some of the guys are going to take care of it.
I don't think that would be the most, one of the horrific moments. That would have been one of the more...
Not necessarily horrific, just, it gives you chills, but you think, that's pretty
right.
Cool.
I have to go do the right thing. I love you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Absolutely.
Todd Beamer.
Is that who it was?
There was a bunch of guys. Todd Beamer's quoted as being the one that said, let's roll.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
We have some audio from his wife and his mother who talked to him on the phone that day, describing the phone call.
Really?
I've looked everywhere for that phone call. It doesn't exist, or they've just never.
Did somebody have the audio?
Somebody told me one time they heard it, but I can't imagine why anyone would record it. You don't know that's going to happen. You don't have a recorder standing by.
Yeah. You know why? Somebody's going to call all of a sudden.
Right.
Unless it went straight to an answering machine. But she talked to him, right?
She talked to him, and we have audio somewhere of the mother and the daughter, mother and the wife.
Got it. How bad are we behind, Eddie?
Pretty bad.
All right. We got plenty to listen to. We got the bagpipe guys coming up today.
Yes.
We got Chuck on the keyboard. We got the 2 gospel chicks coming.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
All the other actualities.
Sorry. Yeah. The 3 people in the other actualities they're bringing with them. They don't melt. All right. We'll be back.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show.
You have the keyboard fixed? Supposed to. What?
Tim Powers.
Who?
Tim Powers.
Who is that?
The attorney guy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll be fine. Have Chuck out there play on the keyboard for a second. Let me see if they've got that fixed. Can you tell if it's in stereo? Sounds like it is.
Yeah, it is.
Give me some Blues Brothers. It's close enough, then. Watch this.
Nice.
All right. It sounds like it's working. Thank you, Chuck. Then we get Sister Maylee in here with those great big boobs. What?
Stop.
Maylee Thomas?
I know. Please stop.
Why?
She's a very Christian young lady.
No, it's that Tommy Young West. That's the Christian lady.
No, so is Maylee.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
Well, she's still got great big cans.
Stop it. Please.
God wants me to look at them. Yes, he does.
Please. I'm asking real nice.
You mean just today?
Just today.
No.
God.
Not a chance.
Okay.
Hi, Steve.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Russ, I wanted to say thank you for supporting. You know, during 9/11 and even today, 2 years later, you got armchair quarterbacks that are second guessing the moves that police made or the dispatchers made about should they evacuate, should they not. You know, and like you said, how the hell would they know that a second plane was going to hit? And they're quick to blame, but you're sitting here supporting the officers, and I wanted to just say thank you. You know,
well, you're welcome.
Enough of coming down on us, but you're supporting us.
There's no reason not to. Who could foresee that? If we could have protected, but, you know.
Yeah, but you can't turn on CNN without seeing somebody saying, well, they shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, as soon as it happened to the first tower, they should have got everybody out of the second tower. And that's, you know, I said that at first a while ago, then I thought, well, that's with today's mentality. Well, you got to go back pre-September 11th of 2001
to even comprehend that could happen.
Well, you're supporting us, and that means a heck of a lot.
Well, you're more than welcome, and I thank you, sir.
Thank you, Russ.
All right.
Yeah, post 9/11 mentality. Let's empty every building in New York, and then nobody can get through the streets.
Right. If something happened in another city again, I'll guarantee you there would be buildings in downtown Dallas that would clear out. That might have happened September 11th, 2001.
I was talking to Joy. She works in downtown Fort Worth in a high-rise. She's like, well, you know, tomorrow's no one's going to bother. I don't think Fort Worth, but she's right. People that work in high-rises.
They might hit that building with the wood still in the windows.
There's nobody in there. They can have that one. They'll finally be building that into apartments.
They're going to leave the wood in?
No.
Why?
Actually, they've taken the wood out. It's all metal.
Why?
It's all metal now.
Well, that's not as funny.
No, not nearly as funny.
It's like somebody to drive in from out of town, drive through downtown Fort Worth, look up and see one of the high rises with wood over the windows. Oh, no, I don't even want to see what the trailer park looks like.
Yeah. Right.
That's a bad part of Fort Worth going to be. Did you guys talk that day, September 11th? You enjoy?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Because you were dating somebody. I wasn't dating anybody at the time, so I didn't really have anybody I was worried about or could talk to.
Yeah. Yes, we did. I was, this is her memory. I'll do this briefly so she won't get mad at me again. We're talking this morning. Remember 2 years ago? She goes, yeah, you yelled at me.
That's a recollection of September 11th?
I was on the way to DFW Airport for the press conference at American Airlines.
Okay.
She's mad at me for going to the airport. I went, shut up. I've got to go. This is work. And that's what she remembers of September 11th, and I yelled at her. So I officially apologized for 2 years ago yelling at you when I was upset.
Is this the first time she's mentioned it in 2 years?
Yes.
Chicks hang on to stuff like chicks hang on to stuff.
I was just shocked. I'm like, of all the things that day. No, I remember other things too. What other bad things did I do? Anyway. So.
They don't turn loose at nothing.
I know. Don't get near the airport. There's airplanes out there and flying. Well, at that particular time, all the planes were on the ground already, but she didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Jason.
Hey, what's up, Russ?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question, or actually a comment for you, and then I'm going to hang up and let you comment on it for me.
All right, good. I think I like doing it this way. I like to just cut him off before he gets to the comment, then he can listen to that.
Oh, there's so many times I want to hear Mark Davis do that. I'll have a comment, then I'll hang up and listen to the answer.
Yeah.
I can switch it around.
Yeah.
Hang up and listen to us talk.
See how that works out. If you're okay with that, let's do it again tomorrow. Good? I was listening to Mark Davis today when I was on the treadmill. And I got on the treadmill like right at 9. Because now they told me, the Larry North people tell me, I got to throw in more aerobics.
Cardio.
Yeah, more cardio.
Okay.
So now I got to run a couple of miles.
Okay.
So that takes me about 18 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So I'm on the treadmill. Mark Davis show comes on at 9.
Correct.
He ain't taking no calls. He's run his mouth for almost 20 minutes straight.
By himself.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Just his quick recollection of that morning and how he was in Mexico that day because
in Mexico.
He was out of town and how he was stranded with people. Mm-hmm. And you could hear him as he says something that might be un-PC. Mm-hmm. He corrects it during the sentence so he don't get no phone calls about it.
Not to upset anyone, but here's what happened.
Exactly.
I heard him do it.
We were stranded in Mexico. So if anybody could be stranded in Mexico, in the Playa del Carmen. But this is what was going on. It was just on and on and on. And the one thing that I actually got out of his 18-minute stint was I think he's got the best idea of what to build in New York where the Twin Towers are.
I don't know what his plan is. What?
It's to build the Twin Towers again. Exactly what was there before. Foot by foot. That's the perfect. First of all, they're talking about building more commercial space there anyway.
Right.
Why not build exactly the same thing that was there before? That's a great big finger.
Who would want to work there? That's the problem. Would you want your office on top of it?
Would you want your office in any building?
Personally, no.
But if they're going to build a monument or a memorial, put the exact same thing that was there.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
That would be great.
But you're right, I don't know about if anybody would go get in the buildings. They sure are nice. I ain't going in there. Monsters hit those things. There's Ken Powers. Hi, Timmy.
Hey, Russ, how are you?
Good. I forgot why I told Trey to get a hold of you. Oh, all the lawsuits going on now with New York.
Isn't that amazing?
I think it's chicken ass.
Well, I do too. And basically, what has happened is that the people who were either injured or they're representatives of those who were killed or those who have property damage had two choices. They could go to this victims' compensation fund or they could file individual lawsuits. And about 70 of them filed individual lawsuits, and a federal judge says that they can proceed.
What's the thinking behind that?
Well, the thinking behind it is that there are a number of different defendants. Number one, the airlines owed a duty to keep their passengers safe. The World Trade Center and the operators of the airport and the operators of the building owed a duty as a landlord duty for, if you lived in an apartment.
You mean to tell me somebody's going to sue the owners of the World Trade Center?
Somebody is suing the owners of the World Trade Center.
How are they supposed to compensate for jumbo jets running in the side of a building?
Well,
who foresees that?
And you're absolutely right. The thing is, Russ, is the judge in this motion, this is what's called the summary judgment motion, and basically all the defendants, American and United Airlines, the Port Authority, the World Trade Center, and Boeing, they all try to get the case dismissed, saying these guys are just out to lunch and there is absolutely no claim here. The judge said that there is a set of circumstances in which they might be able to prove a claim, that they're basically into court. They've done no discovery. The strongest.
What are you going to do? Put up thicker windows?
Yeah.
How the hell do you protect?
That's not going to do any good.
It just, you know what? It makes us look worse to the rest of the planet. Not that we really care, but it makes us look worse because we can't go get the terrorists. Or we're not going to go after them. We're going to sue our own people for terrorist attacks. Like we could foresee any of that.
Yeah.
Well, they could foresee a plane crash, but not people in the plane. They're going to take it over and commit suicide while they're there. They could, their planes do crash in neighborhoods. It does happen once in a while. The problem is that you couldn't really foresee. Of course, the judge said, crash is foreseeable and people hijacking planes is foreseeable. So there is a possible that they might be able to make these claims prevail.
But that's all with today's mentality. Nobody would have thought that prior to September 11th, 2001. Nobody's going to be worried about planes flying into anything like that. Mm-hmm. And now they're going, well, they should have seen that coming. How do you see that coming? You think of it now because now the worst has happened.
Yeah,
the bar's been lifted. Yeah.
Well, hindsight is 20/20, and they say, "Oh, yeah, well, they should have done this, they should have done that." It's like I come across a Dallas cop on 35 when I'm speeding, and I said, "Well, gee, if I knew he was there, I would have slowed down."
Yes.
It's ridiculous thinking. The strongest claim, they're all weak, but the strongest claim is probably against Boeing because the cockpit door was so thin. Because if they couldn't get access to the cockpit is supposed to protect the cabin and protect the cockpit from intruders and lock off.
Now, are the planes and the cockpits, everything, is that federally governed? I mean, where they go, okay, this door only needs to be this thick.
It's interesting you said that because it was a 48-page opinion that this judge wrote, and the judge actually commented there has been no evidence whatsoever to show what the FAA requirements are for the strength of a cockpit door, and that may or may not be determinative on what the duty was of Boeing to make that door a certain strength. So that's exactly what the judge honed in on the exact issue. But it's FAA regulations as far as safety standards.
I've never heard of any regulation regarding the strength of the door. Because there's a lot of smaller planes, simply the next seat behind the captain is a passenger. Smaller planes, there are no doors. Or it's a curtain.
On the other side, yeah, they should foresee hijackers, and those doors should have been, reinforced a long time ago. But we also should have had air marshals and a bunch of other stuff. That, once again, you go back to, that's today's thinking. We're not talking about today's thinking. We're talking about pre 9/11. Where we were all very naive. Now we think we're the smartest mothers on the planet and we got it all figured out. Because two planes flew into the World Trade Center, one into Pennsylvania, one into the Pentagon. The whole nature of living's changed.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I don't either.
It's a mess, Russ, but these suits will be in there for years now. It's going to cost everybody a bunch of money, and do you think a jury sitting on this case is going to find that the airline should have known this was going to happen and they were negligent? I kind of doubt it.
They might.
They could.
Well, like I said, look at the way that we're analyzing things today in today's light. You would take an attorney to tell that jury, turn back the clock and think of everything pre-September 11th and make your judgment based on that, not on everything that we know today, because we know a lot more than we did 2 years ago.
That will completely bankrupt United and American, and probably Boeing, if those lawsuits come down.
I don't understand the mentality of wanting to go and sue them.
I don't know. No idea.
What is it a penalty? Well, the airlines have already gone through a penalty with all the money they've lost over a couple of years.
Not going to bring those people back.
So in the World Trade Center, I believe whoever owned that has suffered a pretty good penalty.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is when two jumbo jets crash into towers like that, the fire alarms or, a better fireproofing system is not going to, change anything that happened, unfortunately.
Not something of that magnitude.
No.
Obviously, it was something of great magnitude. It collapsed both buildings, each one in the course of an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And like you were saying a few minutes ago, get everybody out of the second tower. Would everybody be able to get out in 45 minutes or an hour? Probably not.
Well,
110 stories? No.
I don't know that had it been me on that date, I don't know that I would have left the building. I probably would have watched just from next door going, look at that crap going on across the street.
Well,
yeah.
We watched television not having any idea that there'd be another one coming.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to break here? All right, we got to run, Timmy. What's your website again?
TimPowers.com.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, Russ, take care.
All right. Our legal buddy, Tim Powers. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show.
I wasn't listening. Did you do a legal ID? Okay. Let's see here. JD is here. Eddie, Joey Trent Home, Dan O'Malley. Bailey Thomas is coming up. Tommy Young West.
Yes.
Is a nice lady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she keeps coming up.
Because she likes you. You're nice to her.
But she's a gospel singer.
I realize.
It's not a show a gospel singer would want to be on.
It's not that bad of a show.
Yes, it is.
No, it's really not. You do a lot of good things.
I know, but not all the time.
No.
So it just shocks me that she keeps coming back.
Thank you notes even.
She sends cards like every 2 or 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Thanks for the water you give to our church and whatever.
Yeah.
And May Lee Thomas is coming up.
Please.
Great big yammies. Yammies.
Mm-mm. She's the one my mace keeps coming up because you don't talk about the other lady's body part.
I wouldn't do that to Sister Tommy. Okay. I have a bald spot on my head.
Yeah, you would.
You got to May Lee Thomas's website. She dresses provocatively.
Okay.
Yummy. All right, when we do news last?
Been about an hour.
It's been kind of a newsy day, though.
Yeah, it really kind of has. I can take some light news. We have audio to get to, tons and tons of it.
All right.
You never did the cockpit voice thing?
Yeah, I want to hear that. That's the one for the Pennsylvania flight?
That's
the one that crashed in Pennsylvania?
Correct.
Was it the American?
It was United 93.
United 93? All right. Hi, Wayne.
Hey, I just wanted to give you kind of a weird moment that I had when I was in Washington, D.C. on 9/11.
All right.
Kind of the moment that I noticed something was up.
Mm-hmm.
There were fighter jets with armaments flying low over Washington, D.C. as about the same time the second building was hit. And it's just something you don't see every day, and it was just the first realization that I had that something was going on. It was really serious, and there was more planes up there.
The Flight 93, was that the one to where they were aware that it had gone AWOL? Was it? I heard rumors that they had actually discussed shooting it down.
Yes, they actually.
Thanks, Wayne.
President Bush has actually come out and said he made the terrible decision to say, follow that aircraft. If it appears to be coming toward Washington, D.C., which it was, they gave permission to shoot it down. There's still conspirators that think it was shot down over Pennsylvania because it was clear it was headed directly toward Washington, D.C.
Right.
But yeah, Bush has said, I had to do it. I had to save other American lives. I had to give the okay for the military to shoot that aircraft down if and when it got close enough.
But that was also the plane where those guys, the Let's Roll guy.
Correct.
93 was?
Todd Beamer. It's the only one where we actually have...
Was it Todd or Tommy?
Todd.
All right, go ahead.
Where we actually have audio of the overtaking because of... Apparently, when they came into the cockpit, the captain grabbed the steering wheel, if you will.
Yes.
And there's a push-to-talk switch on it, and he opened up the mic, and all you hear is screaming. It appears to someone saying, Mayday, I don't want to die. But it's mostly screaming. And then the second time is... You can't tell what the hijacker is saying. You can tell he's out of breath. The third time he comes on, and the hijacker speaks. He thinks he's talking to the cabin, but he's actually talking. He's picked up the wrong microphone. He's talking to the air traffic controller, and he says, "This is your captain." I've written out what he says. So,
okay.
You know.
Do I have that audio?
You do. It's on that little purple one I gave you. It's cut number 2.
Let's see if this is it.
93 checking in 350.
That's the one?
Yeah. Now the first couple of transmissions here, that's the actual pilots. They're still in control. This is just normal air traffic control for the first 7 or 8 seconds. They're checking in at the flight level, 350.
Got it.
United 93 checking in 350.
United 93, 350, roger. United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370.
Negative contact, we're looking United 93.
Somebody call Cleveland. United 93, verify 350. United 93, verify your flight level 350. United 93, verify your level of 350.
At this point, now these are compressed.
By the way, is this audio, it's edited, right?
Yes.
He wouldn't be talking that fast.
No, he'd be giving them time to respond.
Got it. Go ahead.
But at this point, the aircraft has begun to climb for no particular reason. He's supposed to be level at flight level 350, which is 35,000 feet.
Yes.
And he's begun to climb. That's why the guy's going,
what are you doing?
Verify your flight level.
Got it.
United 93, verify 350.
What was that?
That is the very first transmission. Apparently, that is the actual takeover. It sounds to me like the captain's saying, Mayday, I don't want to die. He says it twice.
United 93, verify your level of 350. United 93, verify 350. United 93, Cleveland. United 93, if you're here, Cleveland Center, ident, please. United 1523, did you hear your company, did you hear some interference on the frequency here a couple of minutes ago, screaming?
Yes, I did, 797, and we couldn't tell what it was either.
Okay. United 93, Cleveland, if you hear the center, ident.
American 1060, ditto on the other transmission.
American 1060, you heard that also?
Yes, sir.
Roger, we heard that also, thanks. I just wanted to confirm it wasn't some interference.
Executive 956?
Executive 956, go.
We were just answering your call. We did hear that yelling, too.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what's going on.
The captain, please sit down and keep remaining sitting.
Okay, this is the second. That's the second transmission from. This is obviously the hijackers are now in the cockpit. I've listened to this 40 times. I cannot tell you what he's saying. It's the third one.
Well, how do you know he thinks he's addressing the cabin?
The third time he does, because the third time he goes, "This is the captain. We would like you to all remain seated." The next time he talks. This time he's out of breath. The fight is apparently just over, and I don't know who he's trying to talk to here.
Okay.
What's going on?
The captain, please sit down. Keep remaining sitting. We have a bomb aboard. So it's
like he said, bomb aboard.
That's about all you can understand from that one. I've got a bomb aboard. Okay. And they make reference to it here in a second.
All right.
Calling Cleveland Center, you're unreadable. Say again slowly.
Did you hear the transmission where the airplane that said he had a bomb aboard?
Say again. Was that United 93?
Yeah, that transmission he said was unreasonable. It sounded like someone said they have a bomb on board.
That's what we thought. We just we didn't get it clear. Is that United 93 calling? Sector 956, that aircraft we believe was transmitting is 12 o'clock, 5 miles, turn left heading 225. I'll get you away from him. Okay, he's climbing, so I want to keep everybody away from him.
Okay, I think we got him in sight.
Delta 1989, that traffic for you is at 11 o'clock and 15 miles southbound. 41 climbing, looks like he's turning east by heading 360.
Here's the captain. I would like to roll to remain seated.
I can tell you what this guy's saying. You want to roll it back. He's saying, "This is the captain. We'd like you all to remain seated. There's a bomb aboard. We're going back to the airport. It is our demand that you all remain quiet."
Okay, I think we got him in sight.
Delta 1989, that traffic for you is at 11 o'clock and 15 miles southbound. 41 climbing, looks like he's turning east by heading 360.
Here's the captain. I would like to roll to remain seated. There's a bomb aboard and we are going to back to the airport and we have our demand, so please remain quiet.
Got it.
It's United 93 calling. United 93, understand have a bomb on board? Go ahead. Executive 956, did you understand that transmission?
Affirmative. He said there was a bomb on board.
And that was all you got out of it also?
Affirmative.
93, go ahead.
That aircraft he can't get a hold of, is he turned to the east now?
He's just turned to the east also. United 93, you're here at Cleveland Center. Okay, American 10-6 and Executive 956, we just lost the target on that aircraft.
Is that when it goes down?
Yeah, that's, hold stop one sec.
Do you have a visual on him now?
They've lost the target, but at this point, he got just over Ohio, and he's turned back now. He's over Pennsylvania, going eastbound. And at this point, they've dropped off the radar, but they're still flying, and one of the other airliners is close enough to see him, because at this point, they're all watching him.
Oh, I got it.
So there's another aircraft, and he talks to the other pilot, and he says, "Do you still have a visual on him?" And at this point, the airplane's still in the air.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still there. We got him for 956.
You still there? Northwest of you, about 25 miles?
Affirmative for 956.
Executive 956, fighting 180.
Hey, we're making a turn at 956. He appears to be heading right towards us.
American 1060, do you see anybody northwest of you? Can you see back that far there?
We're looking now, sir.
United 93, Cleveland, do you still hear the center?
This is the plane that Bush had decided to shoot down if it got in too far.
Correct.
Okay, and from the point that they said, from the time he cleared himself at 35,000 feet.
Right.
To the time it went down is how long?
About 20 minutes, a little more.
Okay.
So this 3.5 minute tape went by in 20 minutes.
All right, I got it.
But they did have jets. Everybody saw jets around this aircraft when it went down. Nobody reported it was shot down.
Got it. And this was how long after New York?
This was the last one. This was, I don't have the timeline.
All right, this one is the one that went into the field.
Correct.
Not into the Pentagon.
Correct.
All right.
It was headed toward either the White House or the Capitol building.
United 93, Cleveland.
Do you see any activity on your right side, smoke or anything like that?
Negative, we're searching. Yeah, we do have a smoke puff now at about, probably 2 o'clock. It appears to be just a dark cloud, like a puff of black smoke.
That's it.
Surprised there's anything left from that plane.
Very little.
They get the black box out of it?
They did, and I've looked everywhere. I cannot find the cockpit voice recorder. Maybe they just didn't release it. Maybe it's,
Seems like out of that one and the one that hit the Pentagon, those would have been the two that we would have heard about.
Should have survived, yeah.
The World Trade Center had been impossible.
Yeah, pretty much. If they retrieved it, I think because of the heat, it would be useless.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was going to tell you that I read a transcript of the captain talking, and he's not saying I don't want to die. He's saying get out of here repeatedly.
I would say that.
Yeah. I listened to it. I couldn't tell what he's saying.
I read that like on the CNN website today or somewhere.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen any of the 9/11 transcripts yet. Somebody said it's weird to go back and look at it and see really how unprepared we were for everything.
Right.
But there again, we're talking about looking back at that and saying we're unprepared by today's standards.
Sure.
You really would have to get a nut and put them on the board of emergency preparedness just to be able to give you, thanks, Mike.
All the possible,
yeah.
Well, I mean, the deal is, in every single cockpit in the world, there is a fire axe. These guys took over these planes with box cutters. The pilots had access to a fire axe. That's not what you're trained to do.
Yeah. How are we doing, Eddie?
Okay.
All right. Sister May Lee here yet? Jug's here yet? Is she here? Okay. Go ahead, John.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, a couple points, Russ, on the first comment about making the PAS guys who do this professionally.
Mm-hmm.
You'll hear guys on the radio thinking they're making PAs and guys making PAs who are on wrong frequencies. It happens all the time because it's kind of a big box of buttons right there, and we tend to be fat-fingered, so we kind of sometimes press the wrong buttons, so even the professionals can do it. I was out on the West Coast that day, and I told your screener I didn't know if you'd be interested in kind of hearing it from an inside sort of deal. Where,
go ahead, give it to me quick.
Yeah, hold on a second. It's raining outside. We were in the cockpit about to push back from the West Coast, and we're about 5 minutes away from push. Guy comes in the cockpit.
One moment, please. Let's push.
Push back from the gate.
Okay. All right, go ahead. You're going to have to lengthen the words because I don't understand some of these
I
things.
apologize.
That's all right. I stopped flying years ago.
But we were about to push from the gate. A gentleman comes in the cockpit, a fellow crew member, and states, there are two planes have just flown into the Twin Towers. And we both turn around and say, what kind of sick joke is this? It's like, honest to God, it happened.
Were you guys grounded immediately?
Well, it was all very chaotic. Do you ever have that feeling where everything's fine, and then something happens, like where you're almost in a wreck, or just you're so shocked it's like an adrenaline rush?
308 every day.
Well, that kind of happened. And then all of a sudden the gate agents are coming down and going, do you guys know what's going on? Do you know what's going on? And we're like, no, we're trying to collect our thoughts. And then ground tells us, nationwide ground stop. No planes are going anywhere. So,
has that ever happened in this country?
No. I don't think so.
A complete shutdown of the skies?
Never.
I don't think so. And then one of the flight attendants comes up. She's on her cell phone. She says, one of those planes is ours. And so I go down, talk to some mechanics, and I pull up the flight number that they thought it was, and the whole crew list is wiped out. That always means that's a very bad sign.
What does that mean?
Well,
I mean, they had already cleared out a computer screen?
Yeah.
Well, they cleared out the crew list, so you didn't know who was on that airplane.
Oh, I got it.
They don't want that information getting out to anyone.
Got it.
Until
they can contact the families. They know what really happened.
Right.
And then from that point on, it was just, 5 days of sheer hell.
Yeah. How long were we grounded? Was it?
I think it was about 2 to 3 days, but it took about a week before the operations got back up and running full force.
Helicopters were down. Traffic helicopters were down for even longer, weren't they?
A long time.
The
a month or two?
VFR traffic, visual flight rules, where you can fly and you're not really talking to anybody.
Yeah.
I think that was about a month and a half hit, where if you weren't flying via instruments, you weren't taking off.
Put a lot of the little guys out of business because you go a month or so, you got to pay for those airplanes, but they're sitting on the ground not making any money.
That's right. You can't do any lessons or anything.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Hey, take care.
All right. Break here. All right. We'll be back.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show.
Okay, 537, J.D. Ryan is here, Eddie Boyd, Dan O'Malley, Trey Tranholm, Gail Lightfoot with traffic. Dan, go ahead and get Gail on the phone. I don't know when we're going to get around traffic. Let's just do it now. Just looked out the window and 183 was backed up. So I'm sure everything blows.
It's raining everywhere.
All right, I'm going to take this and then maybe there'll be news. Hi, John. John. Johnny. It's too bad he had a good point.
Which is?
The terrorists won't take over a plane again.
Oh, I totally agree. That won't be the next way. They have 300 Americans kicking your ass. A good example is Southwest Airlines jet. That guy stood up and tried to kick in the door. 6 people sat on him until he died.
Good. I laugh every time I hear that story.
Yeah, and of course the family's suing Southwest.
Why?
Good question.
The guy nutted out.
It wasn't even an airline employee that sat on him. It was a bunch of passengers. The guy nutted out. He's trying to kick the door in. Post 9/11.
Hopefully a jury won't do anything about it.
I didn't hear the end of this story. It's come up, but has that happened? Yeah, it's happened a couple times. People have nutted out and passengers have whipped their ass, but that's the only one where they died.
You die every time.
You stand up and you nut. I love the people that go, well, he was always such a nice boy.
I don't care what he was.
Until he stood up and tried to kick a cockpit door in. Then all bets are off. Like he was always so nice until he killed those people.
I don't care if he was petting dogs right before he got on the plane. You picked the wrong tube to nut out in.
You're right.
Why don't you go home and kick your closets open? Why you got to pick an airline? Nuts, just...
Yeah, people will stand up in there unless they have... I don't even think people... I don't know, buy even guns now.
Well, yeah. You'd have to kill, hopefully now...
everybody on board.
You'd have to kill everybody on board. Because now we know what the worst-case scenario is. I'd probably sit back and watch for a while.
I'll tell you what the worst-case scenario is off the air.
All right, let me turn the mics off. That ain't good either.
Mm-hmm. Don't say that on the air.
Well, you can say what happened. You don't have to say which company it was.
Okay. So, cargo jets.
Yeah.
The guy the other day ships himself on a cargo plane.
Right.
There's only 2 pilots on a cargo plane.
Ooh. I got it.
And he got out, and that guy got out of the crate.
Walked around
during the flight. And that was one of the 727s that Kitty Hawk had at DFW.
Well, hopefully I know what you're going to say. He could have got out of the crate and went up there and got the pilots.
Could have. Now he's got an airplane.
And because he was in a crate that hadn't been checked, nobody had looked inside of it, he could have been there with God knows what, going up and taking care of them.
And because it's not a passenger airliner, chances are the cockpit doors haven't been reinforced. I shouldn't be saying all this, I realize, but...
Well, this needs to be thought about. This is another one of those situations where you don't really think, hey, what if somebody shipped themselves from New York to Dallas?
Fortunately, it was just a goofy kid. But you're right. That's a 727. That's an airplane full of fuel. The only thing you miss out on is killing the passengers. But then all you can do is knock out 2 pilots. That one specifically had 3, but that doesn't matter. You have a gun.
Is the cargo area always pressurized?
Yeah, it's the regular cabin area where the seats would normally be on a cargo plane.
Okay. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just wonder if they put him in an area that wasn't pressurized.
He would have died, yeah, if they put him in... Normally the cargo areas are heated and pressurized, I believe.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, I believe. I'm not positive.
All right. Did you get a hold of Gail? Which line? 3? Hi, Gailsy.
Hello there.
Let's go ahead and do this now in case we get busy with other stuff.
Okay.
What do you got?
I've got Miller Brewing.
All right, your out cue is by Miller Lite.
This hour of the Russ Martin Show is brought to you in part by Miller Lite.
Oh, well, that was quick. Well, traffic sucks everywhere. It's just hideous. Here's some of the stuff. Southbound 35, South R.L. Thornton at Industrial, at Ledbetter, and at I-20, there are crashes. Eastbound I-20 at Houston School Road, also at Dowdy Ferry, and westbound 20 at St. Augustine. On eastbound 183 at 114, a crash. Westbound 183 at 360, an overturned car in the center lane. Northbound 360 at Trinity Boulevard, and also northbound at Mayfield. In Dallas, on westbound 635 at Kingsley, there's a crash. Eastbound 635 at Preston, you got one. Northbound Loop 12, Walton Walker at 183, only the right lane is getting through. High water, westbound 635 between Josie and 35. Page Road is shut down between 121 and the Colony because it's underwater. Also, Dallas Parkway northbound at Parker is underwater. Treat your family to the special taste of Owens, and now your local Minyards is featuring a variety of Owens Family Pack Snackwitches for $6.99. Owens, from our family to yours. And I'm Gail Lightfoot on Live 105.3, the Talk Box, Texas.
Thank you, Gail. 67 for the low. More storms tonight. On to tomorrow, up to 5 inches of rain in certain areas. And don't bother bringing up the radar. It's raining pretty much everywhere. We have a flash flood warning for Tarrant County until about 6 o'clock. Tomorrow's high only 75. It is 70 degrees now at Live 105.3, the Talk That Rocks, Texas.
All right. Let me check with Chuck. Make sure. Is your keyboard, everything cool out there? Pound on it. That's not very loud. Eddie, pump up the level on the floor. That's still ain't right. That's a little better. Starting to distort, though. I really should have told him to set this up before.
I believe you did.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah, a couple days ago.
All right. You ready to go with the news?
Yep.
All right. There you go. 543. J.D. Ryan's on Live 105. Click.
Thank you, Russ. Brought to us by Miller Brewing and by Expedia.com.
This hour of the Russ Martin Show is brought to you in part by Miller Lite. Expedia.com. Making it easy to find the trip you're looking for. Expedia.com. Don't just travel. Travel right.
And by Condoms to Go. Trey will make his very first appearance at Condoms to Go next Tuesday, September the 16th, 75 at Walnut Hill from 8 until 10 o'clock. You'll have tickets to the Chevy 500. Trey from the Russ Martin Show at Condoms to Go, 75 Walnut Hill. That's next Tuesday in the evening. On the what? What?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's funny hearing him do an appearance.
Why? He'll be fine.
What's he going to do?
Stand around, shake hands.
Look at him.
Stop it.
Look at him.
I see him.
Can you imagine looking at that for 2 hours?
Yes. I do it every day.
But look at him.
I know.
All right.
I'm joking. On the second anniversary of 9/11 terrorist attack, many Americans think the United States is winning the war against terrorism. At the same time, more today say they are worried about an attack that might happen near them. And they said so in a new poll that's out, a Fox News national poll. 55% of Americans think we are winning the war on terrorism, up from 36% last year. Even so, half of them say they're basically still afraid of flying. Wonder if something's going to happen to them. You probably heard about this. We were just talking about this. 25-year-old Charles McKinley, the man who shipped himself across the country in a wooden crate, then broke out of it, shook the hand of the frightened delivery guy, and took off. Well, you may wonder why. He was homesick, and he figured he could fly himself as cargo cheaper than buying the ticket. Well, it is true in this case because the shipping for a crate of 42 by 36 by 15 inches was listed at a weight of 350 pounds. That cost $550, and it was billed to his employer. The trip took about 15 hours, didn't take any food or water with him, and he was arrested for some outstanding warrants. Those warrants were for writing bad checks and traffic offenses, but now he faces federal charges as a stowaway. Charles and his wooden crate were put into a heated, pressurized cabin on a cargo plane, but could easily put in a non-heated, non-pressurized one. Some of them are.
So he would have popped?
Oh, yeah. He was just... Thanks to the internet, mail-order video, and DVD rental outlets, plus a general shift in sexual morale, a small but growing number of women are turning up the heat in their sex lives by turning on erotica or pornography. Adult video and toy stores are catering to women with clean, well-lighted places to pursue sexual interests and products geared to their enjoyment. Psychologists, sex researchers, and those who sell pornography say women's interest in pornography has been spurred by changes in contemporary culture, from the privacy afforded by the internet and to the trendiness of TV shows like Sex and the City. Hot Stuff, a sex supply and video store in Santa Clara, tries to make women feel more comfortable. Open blinds, top 40 music, and women-only staff. Female customers stop by at lunch while they're planning bachelorette parties, and they say the most popular videos are the ones that tell a story. For women. I hate those ones.
I don't get it.
They tell a story. And the acting is always so wonderful.
LA's aren't bad.
I've never seen her act. I'm not sure I could get past the voice.
That's why I always fast forward past it.
Yeah.
She called me last night.
Did she?
Yeah.
What did she say?
I know why I haven't called her. Because she's going to be in town
soon.
The 24th. I also hear that she set up a couple of dates while she's in town.
Oh.
Guess who ain't going to be on the show?
You serious?
Yep.
Just because she's doing something else?
A slap in my face.
How? You're not dating her?
That's not the point. It's a slap in my face.
How is it a slap in your face?
It's dissing me.
It's not dissing you.
It is diss. It's a diss.
You're not dating
It's
her.
a diss.
You're not dating her.
Feel me.
What?
It's a diss.
All right, it's a diss.
So no, she's not going to be on the show.
My partner been dissed. I don't see that really. Because she has a couple of days. Why does that bother you so much if you don't care about her?
That's not the point.
Well,
the point is, nobody in Dallas-Fort Worth would really care about her if it wasn't for me in this show. And I already warned her, while you're in town, you don't go out on any of your dates.
Air quotes, dates.
Yeah. No dates while you're in Dallas. You can do it any place else, but not here. It's dissing me.
Did you tell her that on the phone?
I didn't talk to her.
Oh, she left a message.
Yeah. Like 12:15 last night. I ain't picking up the phone.
Yeah. And she just said, why aren't you calling me, Dad?
Trey's already warned Vinny that if that happens, she ain't on the show.
But we know that's happening? Okay.
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
So no, she won't be on the show.
Well, I'm disappointed then.
Well, you can be disappointed all you want.
She's always fun.
It's an absolute, I don't have another phrase short of it's just dissing me. You come into town, supposed to hang out with me, and in the course of hanging out with me, you set up a couple of business dates.
Yeah,
and I'm certainly not going to do anything with somebody after they had a business date.
I understand. I don't know what to say. Yeah, I mean, you're right when you put it that way. Of all the towns, she could not have a date in.
Yes.
This is the one.
You have the rest of the country, the other 49 contiguous states to go and date. Not here.
Yes.
So, the 24th can come and go. She ain't going to be on the show.
I'm sorry.
And just the fact that she went ahead and set some up after I warned her ahead of time.
Yeah, you did tell her.
Thank you. So.
Oh, well, that is a shame.
Can't help it. It's her own decision. Money's more important. Couldn't take a week off from having dates.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, a guy that works at a tire dealership in Athens, Georgia wanted a date. Tire Plus Tire Dealership in Athens, Georgia. 25-year-old woman came in to buy tires. She left. They were too expensive. 42-year-old employee Gregory Mulligan called a woman at home, made her an offer. She could have free tires if he could have a date. For some reason.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Yes. And for some reason she said no. She called the cops. He's in jail.
I think Eddie, where did Eddie go?
I don't know.
I think Eddie knows somebody, a friend of his wife actually puffed 4 tires.
You're kidding me.
Mm-mm.
And went home and told the husband?
I believe so.
And
how else would Eddie know?
At which time the husband did what?
Ask her if she got the mounting. I don't know. I don't know.
I would kill my wife.
Well, if he'd come back in here, I'd ask him.
I'll go on with this story.
Go ahead.
250-pound woman. This is a fun one. 250-pound woman from Cincinnati accused her boyfriend of assault. That's not the funny part. He weighs 116 and has one leg. She is 250 pounds, has both legs. They're both married, but not to each other. And she was even cheating on her boyfriend. Vicky Smith is her name. She says what started the fight and led to an assault. Basically, she came over. They smoked some marijuana. She fell asleep, woke up. He said, stay with me. She said no. He went and got the dog collar, or the dog leash, wrapped it around her neck and was trying to stab her.
Okay.
Okay, follow that so far?
No.
He's trying to assault her and put the dog leash around her neck.
Who's only got one leg?
The boyfriend, the 116-pound boyfriend, not that 250-pound girlfriend.
All right, so the one-legged man's choking the chick.
True.
Why didn't you just say it that way?
I think I did.
No, you didn't.
Well, for starters, she says, it was fine. He hops around. He gets around better than I do. And she claims that little Matthew Long choked her with the dog leash. Unfortunately, the dog leash couldn't be brought to the court because the dog supposedly had eaten it at that point.
Okay.
In the end, the judge found the one-legged man not guilty.
Good. Justice is served. Don't we know somebody, his wife performed something on somebody for tires?
Yes. Yes, we do.
See?
And what did he say when she told him that?
They have one of those real weird relationships to where he just absolutely doesn't care about her other than they take care of each other. And so
that's freaky.
He kind of looked at it like, I didn't have to pay for tires.
Damn.
Mounting and balancing?
The whole 9 yards.
Stems?
Yes.
Everything costs. You go in and pay $50 a tire. For some reason, it ends up costing $400.
How does that even come up? The guy goes, well, you know what? Or does she offer?
How did it?
She absolutely offered. She kept telling the guy how cute he was, and at the point that the sale was done, she said, can we work something out? And he said, like what? She told him, and he said, I guess.
Is she ugly?
Extremely.
But it was...
Yes.
Okay.
And then she proceeded to stalk him for a couple of months. Because it meant more to her than that.
Right. Because the tires was out of balance.
Well,
hold on, what was I going to ask you? Oh, load up a cold bumper.
Okay.
Before we... how long? All I'm going to do is I'm wrapped up the news stories. There are a couple of charity events going on the next couple of days today. And
hang on a second. Chuck, play me something into the break. Chuck, why is it nobody standing? Go tell him, Eddie. Go ahead.
This Saturday will be the first annual Firefighters 5K Fun Run for McKinney. We talked about this the other day to honor the memory of the fallen brothers and the events of September the 11th and keep the public passion for those still serving. The Fun Run is a charity event with proceeds benefiting the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation and the McKinney's Boys and Girls Club. You can get more information at Firefighter5, the number 5K.com. And one more thing, the Bent Tree Bar and Grill today. It's a piano bar. It's at Frankfurt and Midway on the southeast corner, right between Sterling and Salutes. Today, you can go. This guy deals cards. All the proceeds. Thank you. From the card table today will go to your foundation, the Police and Firefighter Foundation. It's the Bent Tree Grill. So,
is that it?
That's pretty cool.
Wrap up news.
There's news and information. I'm J.D. Ryan, Live 105.3.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin
I can't
Show.
wait on you no more. No, it's some big, long, drawn-out message. Call me off the air. I want to talk to you about this. La-di-da-di-da-di.
Well,
there's nothing to talk about.
I guess she feels when she's here that she can do whatever she wants.
Well, then let her do whatever she wants, but she's not going to be on the show.
Yeah, y'all aren't dating.
That make it a difference.
Why do you care?
It's a slap in my face.
What's not?
Yes, it is.
I just don't understand why you just can't have her come on and have that be something separate.
Mm-mm.
Why is that? Why are the two connected?
Why would I have her on if I'm not going to do anything with her? To listen to her talk?
Yeah, she's fun.
Then you have her on your show.
No, I don't want her on my show.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
And just the fact now that she set it up, even if she says, okay, I won't do it, it's too late.
Why is it too late now? If she says, all right,
she was going to do it anyway, and she's going to, if she canceled it, it's only because she got caught.
Yeah.
I got 3 emails from people going, hey, I already got her booked for this night and this night.
Trying to make money to get out of this business and start her own business.
Well, good for her. She didn't get my help this go round.
Okay. And he will not be glad to hear that.
I can't help, and he can't tell her what to do when she's in town.
No, he can't.
I'll have to get a new favorite porn star.
Hello.
Hi, George.
Hey, I was calling about that story you were just saying about that chick that smoked the pipe for some tires.
Yeah.
I had a funny story I wanted to share with you. A while back, I was working at this place where this chick got fired, and she wanted to sue the company for wrongful termination. And she had asked me if I knew anything or heard of anything or could help her out in the case, and I told her, yeah, that heard a couple things. And she basically told me she'd smoke my pipe as many times as I wanted if I testified in court for her. So I basically cashed in for about 6 or 7 months, probably on a daily basis, and then testified against her. But it was fantastic. Never even had to touch her.
Was she good looking?
Well, top of her head was real nice.
And what's she going to do in court?
Yeah.
Hey! I buffed you for testimony!
So this girl was crazy. She'd come up to my work, and I'd go outside on break and, let her do her thing and go back to work.
I'm not sure I want a crazy chick mad at me, but okay.
What'd they let her go for?
She had hurt her leg, and she tried to sue him, saying that she'd caused permanent damage, that she couldn't walk anymore, and just a bunch of crazy stuff.
Okay. Dandy. All right, thanks, George.
Sure.
All right. What other audio you got? Anything cool?
Oh, we have tons of it. Trey's got it all lined out for you. Both of these mini discs, and you'll have to ask him where the key is.
I'll have this audio of Tower 1 going down. Didn't we already play that?
We played that, and there's some more over here. Another stack.
What you got, Eddie? God, you guys got all of this?
Mm-hmm.
Worst day of my life audio clip, trip to Towers.
We have Bush, Giuliani, people that saw it, firemen.
Bush, was it that night?
All of them. The day out there going, you'll hear the people in this, I know you can't hear me, but soon they'll all hear us. The people that knocked down these buildings.
Oh, that wasn't the day of. That was
later. And then we have the day the speech that he did at the little elementary school when he first found out.
Did you see the video of him at the elementary school?
Yeah.
You saw the whole video?
Yeah. I've seen it.
Well, I don't know what I saw, because somebody sent me a link, and it's the video of Bush sitting in the classroom,
right,
and that guy that comes over to tell him something, leans over, says something, doesn't talk in his ear, maybe 3 seconds. Backs up, stands back over in the corner, and they keep going on. And they go through the whole thing of the kids reading to President Bush, and I can't remember if he read something or not.
Maybe it's just developing and hadn't happened at that point. I don't know what that timeline is. That could have been like we believe we have here, hijacked aircraft. And then later they went, okay, they're hitting the towers. Let's go.
Hang on, here I'm straight. Yes?
There is audio or sort of a description of what you're talking about, Bush at the elementary school on the CNN disc.
Which one is that? Does it say CNN?
It says CNN.
It's the red one. Did you see the video?
Yeah, that's where the audio is from.
Did they explain what was going on? Because from what I remember, they told him, hey, this is going on. He got up and left. Obviously, I got the story totally wrong.
No, he stays, and then he had a long speech planned to spend the day with them, and then he gives very short remarks, and then they whisk him off. That's when they started bouncing him around the country, first to Louisiana, and then
that was the other thing that I know they needed to move him around for his own safety,
right?
But that was a moment that we needed to see the president.
I agree.
I don't care where we saw him. I don't care, if he had a mustache painted on and went, "Hey, add me back later,"
or maybe a video phone from the jet,
just something. But the fact that he was out of pocket for so long. There again, just like what we said on September 11th 2 years ago on television, we really needed to see some familiar faces and some normalcy that night after an entire day of complete pandemonium. Letterman and Leno take off, and everything is just it's news, and it's an overload, sensory overload.
It's dark, yeah.
You'd like at least somebody there that you're familiar with, that you're used to all the time, to kind of walk you through this process and go, hey, you know what? You ain't the only one that's having a hard time with this.
I agree.
That's why I think all the networks screwed up.
I did.
What cut is it?
It's on the live. I don't remember.
Did I already put the thing in the box?
Yes, you did.
Okay. CNN Carol Lynn description of newsroom. Okay. I'd like to hear that. Sister May Lee here.
30 seconds later.
She ain't coming?
I think she's stuck in traffic.
Oh, all right. Bagpipe guys ready?
Absolutely.
I haven't decided. What would you like to hear first? The police speech or a September 11th sermon?
Wow.
Everybody's here, right?
Tommy's here.
Anybody going to leave right now?
Nope.
All right.
Be nice to wrap the whole show up with the bagpipes and the speech.
I'll do that then. Okay.
A little lighthearted, fun sermon, and then
Sister May Lee ain't here though. I was going to ask her to bounce her jugs for Jesus.
All right. Could that be part of the reason maybe she's caught in traffic?
I don't know. Bounce those jugs for Jesus.
Oh, come on.
Great, big, round, meaty, bouncy sustainers of life.
I know.
Then after she bounces those, maybe some jumping jacks for Jesus.
No. Please. Please.
What am I listening to here? I'm all worked up.
30 seconds later, I hear in my earpiece from the control room.
Was this talking? Carol Lynn?
Yes.
Okay. Who is that?
CNN anchor.
All right. What does she look like?
Attractive, brunette.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Get to the set. Get to the set. We're going into breaking news. and up comes the picture of the World Trade Center tower with a huge, smoking, gaping hole in it. And I said, holy God. This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
What would cause a hole that size? Why would you say unconfirmed reports? Obviously, a plane crashed into the side of it. It still has the outline of the plane. I think it's okay at this point in time to go out on a limb, be an edgy journalist, and say a plane has crashed into the side of the World Trade Center.
The CNN Center right now is just beginning to work on this story.
That was a dandy edit. What was that?
That was just, I didn't hit stop fast enough.
This close to spinning the wheel.
Come on.
Audio of plane into tower number 1. Have we already heard that?
Yes.
Bush at school in Florida. Okay, that's the video that I saw.
Yes.
Okay. And you've never seen this, JD?
I believe I have.
Just always in my mind, that guy walks up, says something to Bush, and I just immediately thought he would get up and leave the room.
Yeah.
Because you see the still picture all the time of Bush making that face.
Right. Maybe it was like, sir, we have an incident. And I'll stand back here and I'll keep you up to date. Because he didn't have time to go, we got airliners, we think they're going. He didn't talk that long.
Well, that's what I would tell him.
Well,
you lean over and you go, dude, plane just flew into the World Trade Center.
Maybe we didn't know at this time. Maybe this was just the point. We know we have a hijack. We have aircraft that are doing weird things.
The clip explains exactly what Karl Rove says to Bush.
Okay, then here we go. Sorry. Here's the explanation. I can't wait. Is this from Star Trek? What does this sound like?
It's from a CNN special on 9/11, and is
this where they beam in?
They put music in and out from.
Got it.
So.
Before he goes to sit with the children and to read.
All right, this is the Bush explanation.
Yes.
Got it.
This is Major Garrett, who at that time was CNN's White House correspondent.
Is that the guy that leans over with his hands behind his back and says something to Bush?
No.
Okay.
That's Karl Rove.
My mistake. Karl Rove is the one that leaned over and said, hey, dude.
Chief of Staff.
Got it.
He's made aware that the first jetliner has struck the first tower in New York City. His instincts are to think this is not an accident, but nobody knows, and it's a very cautious internal.
Okay, at first, I got it. I'm with him. Okay. First plane goes into the World Trade Center. That could be just an airline disaster. Mm-hmm. Certainly no reason for him to do anything. I'm not being smart ass. At this point, we're still pre-9/11 thinking. Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't think terrorist attack, and you certainly wouldn't think another one's coming.
Right.
All right. Okay, it's starting to make sense then.
White House reaction. Chief of Staff Andrew Card approaches from his right, leans down, and says the following words.
Dude.
The second plane has hit the second tower.
Today we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes.
Okay, so he leans over and says the second plane has hit the tower. Wouldn't at that point, wouldn't you jump up?
No, I didn't think, he's at an elementary school, so I think they wanted to make a swift exit, but not to alarm a bunch of kids at the same time.
He sat there through the whole, as they read to him, right?
He sat there for like another 10 minutes, and then gave remarks, and then was out of there.
All right. Just seems to me that would have been an immediate thing. A plane has hit the second tower. What would you like to do?
I'm with you, because I would think the Secret Service, being that this was a planned trip, people knew where he was, would get him out of that location as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Because at that point, obviously, they're worried about his safety because they're shuffling him all around the country.
Mm. Pop couldn't drag himself away from seeing the little engine that could. I saw you smiling. I'm going, all right, what is it?
Wait. He keeps looking over at the guy going, wait a minute, here comes a little puffer belly part. Little puffer belly was in the station. I said, wait. Sorry. Yeah. All right, let me see what else is on here. You go ahead and bring us Sister Tommy Young West. Tommy Lee West.
Tommy Young West.
Yes. Bring her in. All right, description of scene at Capitol, description of Pentagon behind the scenes. Aaron Brown live as tower. I'm going to hear that. I'd like to hear everybody's reaction as the tower goes down, because obviously Peter Jennings didn't get it. They're telling him, hey, the tower collapsed. What? The tower collapsed. It fell down. Which part? All of it. All you Canucks are a bunch of tards?
It's just hard to believe. It's just...
You saw the video. The building ain't there no more. There's a puff of smoke, and when the smoke clears, there's nothing in between you and what's on the other side of it. That, to me, that tells me the building's not there anymore.
It's gone.
All right. This is Aaron Brown from CNN.
People ducked into doorways, and people didn't stop looking high.
But I couldn't breathe at all. It's really hard to talk. I still can hardly breathe. So much.
I didn't hear Aaron Brown.
I didn't either. You the right cut?
I play the wrong cut? Yeah. Oh, well, that's why I was confused.
In an apparent terrorist attack.
That ain't right.
It is flying. It's going to run.
We had too much crap going on. Hi, Sister Tommy.
Hi there.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Why do you keep coming back? See, she don't know either.
You like Russ, don't you?
I do.
See, she must.
She does.
Do you see something good in me underneath all the ugliness?
I think you're a good person. Yeah. I think you're special.
We must be selling a lot of your albums.
Quit it. Stop it.
See, look at her smile. Oh, 700 last time I was here.
I wish.
I stand in Satan's house for 700 albums. What is your website?
TommyYoungWest at yahoo.com.
That's an email.
That's your email. What's your website?
Oh, it's One Love Entertainment.
What are you looking at us for? We don't know.
No, I was looking to see if my husband was out there. One Love Entertainment.
It's on your new album that you sent us.
Yeah, One O-N-E Love L-U-V.
What's on this album?
That's just the patriotic medley and a song called You Taught Me, which was written in honor of my parents.
Who wrote it?
A young lady that's a minister's daughter. She's a friend of mine. She's a great writer.
Very nice.
She's a musician.
Well, you're a lovely singer.
Thank you.
Inside and out.
Thanks.
Do we have to sell another 700 albums for you to come back?
I'd have to talk to my family about that.
See your husband out there. He's going, yeah. She lived here for 700 albums. All right. Do I have the right cut now?
Number 2.
This one. No, I ain't talking to you, woman. We're playing CNN cuts.
Okay.
There has just been a huge explosion. We can see a cascade of sparks and fire, and now it looks almost like a mushroom cloud explosion. And I'll tell you that I can't see that second tower.
I remember a cop friend of mine stopped by, and we watched this together. It was just another one of those moments to where we're both sitting there, and every once in a while you look at each other and going, is this real?
Yeah.
Then we held each other.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
No.
Then we kissed passionately.
Stop it. Oops.
Well, we didn't know if we were about to die.
No, you knew you were.
You didn't know what was about to happen?
You're not kissing a man.
Yes, I was.
No, quit it.
I couldn't deny myself.
You're going to say that next thing you know, little gay Steven's going to be running through here.
No, he won't. Sister Tommy helped me out this time.
Okay.
Where were you when all this happened? Do you remember?
We were just getting up. We were still in bed.
Yeah.
And we slept with the TV on all night.
7:45 here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
8-ish. And we were just getting up, and, of course, the TV's on all night.
Right.
We woke up to everything happening, and when the plane hit the second time, we knew it wasn't a movie or something. We just were in shock.
Did it dawn on you when the second plane hit that this was a terrorist thing? Because me, I still wasn't getting it.
Well, we knew something was terribly wrong.
Right.
Yeah, and plus, you know, Charlie Gibson and Diane, so we knew something was happening.
Mm.
Yeah. And I never will forget the awe of that day. I went to the store and everybody was like zombies. You know, people were standing outside the grocery store, gathered together, talking, and it was just a somber mood all over.
Were you old enough to remember when Kennedy got shot?
Oh, yeah, I was in I was in I think the 11th grade. I was in class, and the teachers just started running and screaming down the hall. We knew something was wrong.
Was that, which would you play off as more horrific? Which one was worse to you? Because you went through both. And back then, for some reason, we held the president. Now I don't think we would. I mean, think about if a president were to be assassinated now.
Yeah.
I don't think you get the same response you did when Kennedy got shot.
Well, it was so many thousands of people, unfortunately. And children lost their parents, and that was a lot sadder. Of course, you know, both tragedies, there's no lesser of two evils. And it's both of them were heartbreaking.
Hold on a second. I don't want to do no sermon now. Now I'm morose.
Well, just pick it up. We'll have a good time. Come on, buddy.
Walk it off.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah, you were asking why Bush didn't take off immediately when they told him about the second plane. It's just a pretty standard security procedure to keep him in place when they realized there was more going on than they had initially thought. It was more dangerous to have him in transit to Air Force One than, you know, where they knew he was in a secure location at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose. It just seemed weird that he would stay in one spot. I guess that's the protocol. If you keep him there, let the Secret Service evaluate what's going on, and then they come and tell him, all right, we got to get out of here. Go ahead and put on your gorilla mask so nobody can recognize you, and let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then, you know, you hear on the two-ways back and forth the Secret Service, McGill is in play.
Right.
That the code that they use?
I think they do.
To let you know that they're moving the president. McGill is on the ball. Let me take this. How are we doing, Eddie? All right. Go ahead, Mo.
Hey, Russ. On a day that I'll never forget, you still made me shoot Pepsi out of my nose.
All right.
That day,
how did that manage?
Well, you did the Tom Brokaw deal. Do you remember the whoosh boom?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I remember that.
Whoosh boom.
Oh, that's right, because we said he looked like he was drunk.
Yeah.
After a long day.
All day.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that again.
I don't think we have anything of September 11th of 2001.
We don't.
That was hilarious.
All right, thank you, man.
I'm glad that you remember. Thank you.
Thank you. You load up my music? I'm trying to think exactly what we're talking about, because it was a long day for us, because as soon as all this happened, we had to go back and readjust. We had to figure out how to get some type of information into the studio, because we didn't have a TV.
Nothing.
We didn't wire. We didn't have anything. Had we been on the air, we wouldn't have known until days later, or at least till we got home.
Yep. It was just not set up for a news talk station.
Well, it was a talk station. We should be aware of what's going on. Right. That's the only reason we got 4 TVs in here now. I love TV land. We should really put some of those on a news channel or something.
At least one.
Remember exactly the Brokaw thing. But he absolutely just, that night, just looked absolutely ripped.
Yeah. He's just worn out.
Actually, it couldn't have been at night. Unless we had a TV in there.
He was on all day, and this was about, they started at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. He was on, and this was now.
We were watching him on TV throughout the afternoon.
In the evening, yeah.
Good evening, it's Tom Brokaw from Michigan. Oh, the head. Did you see what happened this morning? Push! Boom! Is that close?
That was it.
Sister Tommy ain't laughing.
No.
Sweetie, I hear the album's going out the door right now.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
One Love LUV Entertainment.
Yeah. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You want a tambourine this time? Are you all right?
No, that's a
You ever do a tambourine?
So it's kind of serious. It's not up tempo.
Oh, we're getting up tempo.
What are we doing?
This is my September 11th sermon. You ready? Just back me up, baby. Back me up. Here it is.
What do you want me to do?
Same thing we did last time. Just go with it.
I thought you wanted me to do the patriotic medley.
No. Trey, you talk to her? She's backing me up, sweetie. Did you trick her? What do you tell her? Give her some whiskey.
No.
Give her some whiskey?
I stopped drinking a long time ago.
Why is that?
I'm a convert.
What do you drink now?
I've accepted Christ in my life. A lot of water.
So you have to stop drinking altogether?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that? I didn't know that.
Neither.
What about the wine and the crackers they give you at church?
We don't have that.
What denomination are you?
Pentecostal.
Well, my dad would take me to Pentecostal churches. We had wine and crackers.
Yeah.
And we had to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Paid extra?
Yeah.
You don't pay anything for communion?
Yeah, we're on the air.
Can y'all hear?
Yeah.
You can.
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
You upset now, ain't you?
No.
What's the matter?
Well, I'm...
She just got an idea. She goes, we can start charging for crackers and wine.
Stuck like Chuck.
What? Are you getting nervous?
No. Trey told me I was doing the patriotic medley.
Trey, is that what you told her?
I thought you said...
Because of 9/11.
You better hurry up because I'm getting pissed off really quick. Start talking. Move the mouth. Unlock.
Yes, I thought you wanted her to come up and sing.
Why? What? Who just pooted?
Sorry.
Who pooted? You pooted in front of Sister.
I'm sorry.
What's the matter with you?
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. Oh, God. What's wrong with me? I'm sorry.
In front of Sister Tommy.
I said I was terribly sorry.
Now your demon spirit's floating around the room.
Well, we're all human.
I'm leaving. I'm get out of here.
What'd you tell her? And he don't. Because if you don't...
It's over, Eddie, please. Please don't. Eddie.
Well, Candy said, Mama, don't do it.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus, Lord, help me. I wish I'd called in sick today.
All right? Here's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll take a break.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back.
Okay.
After we clean out the room. We'll be back.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show.
Idiot.
No.
Didn't tell, he didn't. First of all, I just found this out.
What?
Quit, I hate the Culture Club or whatever that is.
Yes.
Maylee Thomas was supposed to be here.
Where's she?
He ain't never talked to her. He told Chuck the keyboardist to call her. He said she's coming. All right, so that's one actuality that ain't here.
Yeah.
The keyboard, Chuck's keyboard, isn't checked out ahead of time.
Yes, I know.
So I had to send Chuck home because that sounded like crap, and I'm not going to use it on the air. It ain't Chuck's fault. It's the fact that it wasn't checked out ahead of time. I told him, make sure this is done. That's two actualities that are screwed.
Done.
And then he didn't tell Sister Tommy, who you could tell she was very uncomfortable.
She was extremely uncomfortable. She thought she had come here to sing her medley.
She didn't know what was going on.
Mm-mm.
Then she was embarrassed. And I was embarrassed for her.
I went out and apologized.
Did you get our money back?
We didn't pay them anything.
Okay.
Get our money back. What's wrong with you?
I don't know. And he's standing here, and I'm going, what are you thinking?
Yeah, that should have been explained, that you were going to do your sermon.
Where is he? Go get him in here, Eddie. This will fill the next 28 minutes of the show.
Please do the sermon.
I don't have anything. I don't want to do it now.
Please. Everybody's waited for that speech.
Nobody's waited for anything.
Bull crap. Email after email after email. I'm sorry.
I'll do the police fire speech at the end of the show.
Okay.
We have the lovely bagpipe guys.
We do.
Came in full drag.
No, it's not drag. It's dress.
Whatever.
Okay.
We'll get some pictures, put it on the website.
All right.
These are also the same bagpipe guys that you'll hear on the DVD, the Police Fire Parade. All right, explain your way out of this, or kill yourself, one of the two. Have you been crying? If I were you, I'd be. My stomach acid would be out of control. I would be spewing, what's something that's ugly?
Bile.
Bile. You should hiccup and a turd comes out.
Well, I found out why she was sort of uncomfortable and uneasy.
Okay, what was that?
They were listening on the way in. They heard you talk about May Lee. Big cans, this and that. They thought you were talking about her.
No, I'd never do that. In fact, I said I'd never say that about Sister Tommy because she'd snatch me bald.
You said that.
So that was one of the reasons why she was uncomfortable.
Okay. Why did she think she was going to sing something off her album?
you said gets people in to sing.
Gospel singers, because I'm doing a sermon. I ain't doing it now because I got no keyboard and I ain't got no, what?
Do this sermon anyway.
You want some of this?
No more.
All right.
Here. Turn my mic off.
So now I don't have a keyboard because that wasn't checked out ahead of time. Explain that one, Lucy.
The earliest Chuck could get here was 4.
Okay. Couldn't get the keyboard here earlier this week to double check it before the show, after the show. Somebody get it to make sure that when it's on the air, it sounds good.
I'll kill myself if that would get me out of it.
So that's one. You've taken our entire September 11th show and ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
Been bad since I came on at 3.
It's not.
Yes, it has, because I knew something was going to get screwed up.
Great show.
And I was right on all counts. And what about May Lee Thomas? Where is she? You said she was coming. You said she was confirmed. Where's that actuality?
Not here.
Why is she not here? Say it!
I'm sorry. John, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And by the way, did you fart earlier to break the tension?
I know. I wish I was that talented.
Because I could tell by her face, Sister Tommy, she goes, do not let Gay Stephen in here. I just saw him walk by, and I ain't in the mood.
No.
I could see when you floated it out, it was a loud one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the last thing she wants to do is stand in the room with a bunch of white men farts.
Sorry.
I am so embarrassed all the way around. So no keyboard. No May Lee Thomas. And Sister Tommy Young West is embarrassed. Why don't you tell me what your punishment should be? I'll leave it to you. And I'll abide by anything you say. As long as I approve it. Because I don't feel like doing anything else. I don't feel like doing the sermon. And I don't feel like reading the police fire speech. Tell me what your punishment should be. I'll wait.
I'll spin the wheel.
Let me see what's on the wheel. You put some new stuff on it?
Yes.
All right, we have stun gun to the nads. Plunger shot in your face. Jumper cables on your nipples. B-hole rocket launch. I like that one. Eddie Butt Cheeto. What is that?
It's where they have to pull a Cheeto out of my butt with their teeth.
Ooh, I like that one too. Spin twice. Sitting underwear in the icebox. BB gun to the nads. Tent of death. Stun gun. Plunger shot. Okay, already been around the thing. I like the rocket launch from the B-hole. Is that with their pants down?
Yes.
That's what it's those big rockets.
Yeah.
And long ones.
Yeah.
Like they kind of were on my boots.
Look at you, dog. You got a hole in your head.
Pants down. Yeah. That's going to burn him. I know. I don't know if you're laughing or crying.
That's it. That'll get you off the hook. Rocket launch out of the B-hole.
Okay.
All right. We'll do that tomorrow. Gives me something to look forward to. Puts me in a better mood. Good. Thank you. You've done a fine, fine job. Shoosh. How bad did those things burn?
It's going to burn pretty bad. I can try to figure something out to keep it from burning real bad.
Why?
I didn't know liability was.
Oh. It's his choice. We'll make him sign a waiver before we do it. But he's going to drop his pants and take his actual portal and stick that stick in there and light it. And I want video of this.
Okay. Can't he have some kind of a shield?
He could put a hat on.
No. I mean, to protect his butt and just like a little hole in the middle of it where the stick's coming out. That way we all don't have to look at his ass either.
We could always ram it through a cake.
Yeah?
Like stick a cake on his ass.
Right.
And ram the stick through it so you actually don't see his butt.
That's a good idea. It protects him. Or a piece of foam rubber that looks like it's the size of a cake.
Couldn't care less. Okay. All I know is that stick is going, we're doing the butt rocket launch.
Okay.
I'm in a better mood now.
Okay.
Well, I mean, just think of all the things he screwed up. The keyboard wasn't checked out ahead of time. He didn't cover the thing with Sister Tommy before she came on the air.
Bad.
Are the bagpipe guys ready? They know exactly what we're doing?
They are ready. I've double-checked.
Because they played with us before, and they understand. Mm-hmm. All right. And they know no Irish jig at the end of Amazing Grace.
Yes, they do.
Okay, because I think they got a little toasted last time. And somehow Amazing Grace kind of twisted into an Irish jig.
Yeah,
it's cute for a party. But it wasn't really what I was looking forward to.
Perfect.
How we doing, Eddie?
Getting close.
Yeah, Dave?
You guys should let Gay Steven do the rear.
Yes. Let Steven
get you off the hook a little bit.
Thank you. Steven will put the rocket in.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, remember last time he played hooky. Somebody might have to babysit him tonight.
Did he skip out on one?
Do what?
Yeah, one time.
Which one did he skip out on?
It was going to happen at the end of the show, and he took off early.
Yeah, he did.
No, we were going to do something the next day, and he didn't show up.
Yeah, he didn't show up, so you might have to babysit his
I think it was Rocket Code, I believe.
But he ended up doing it, didn't he?
He ended up doing it later on, but the first day that we were going to do it, he didn't. He didn't show up.
I need to see one of those rockets and see how far the flame comes out. Thanks, David.
Yeah. You shoot one off in here? Or?
No, it'll explode in here.
Oh.
We'll check one after the show.
Okay.
But he's still doing it. This is too many things clumped together. No gospel singers, no keyboard.
An important day, too.
Yeah. One of the most important days we'll have all year, and now it's absolutely ruined.
It's not.
There's nothing from this show today that I ever want to hear again. Okay. Ever. I'm embarrassed for me. I'm embarrassed for the listeners. Makes me sick to be in the same room with us.
What?
I'm not doing the sermon now.
Please do. Come on. Everybody's looking forward to this.
I'll read the police thing at the end of the show.
When will you do the sermon? Will you do it tomorrow?
I'll be in a better mood tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it tomorrow.
Give me a bumper, Eddie, and let's take a break.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin.
What made you poot in the middle of all of that?
I'm sorry.
I never got around to that.
I was
because Tommy West Young. What's her name?
Tommy Young West.
Tommy Young West, the very lovely Tommy Young West, who probably now will never come back on the show again because we put her in a very bad situation.
We apologized. I went out and shook all her hands and said, it was a communication error. We're terribly sorry.
Okay, we'll punish Trey. Was she okay with us?
She was okay with that.
But she ain't ever coming back. I'll bet you cash this time that she don't come back.
I'm not going to bet you this time. She seemed very upset and embarrassed.
It's not her fault that she should be embarrassed.
No, it's not. She was expecting to come in and do something off her CD, and how that ever came up and Trey didn't go, no, that's not what we want.
I don't even know where the CD came from. How they came up.
I have no idea. That's what she thought she was doing.
So what excited you and made you poot right in the middle of that?
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Were you thinking things weren't bad enough?
No. The way it turned out, it did break the tension.
She's tense. She's looking outside.
Yeah. Maybe subconsciously it did. Maybe if I poop, this room will clear out. I'm sorry.
Just trying to get a vibe on it.
I know.
One of the worst days of my life. This is worse than 2 years ago.
Oh, nah.
We'll be back with the Russ Martin Show.
I don't know if I can let this thing go with just a rocket launch out of the V-hole. This is some serious
we
stuff.
We have some issues that need to be addressed, and he does work hard when you point out what he needs to do.
I don't have time to follow up on stuff, and I don't have time to double check that the keyboard's ready to go, or that Tommy Young West knows exactly why we asked her to come up here. Did you get our money back?
We quit that. We didn't give her any cash.
No.
She was here to promote her website, which I promised her we would do.
Well, we did.
I know. OneLoveLUVEntertainment.com for her CD.
Big yammed Megan Lee Thomas was supposed to be here.
That one, my hands are up in the air, because that was supposed to confirm, and apparently was not even close to being confirmed.
I'm embarrassed.
We're fine.
I may have to let him go.
No.
I may have to.
And do what? Bring back
Dan Lewis?
Don't you? I mean, yes.
Why don't you like Dan?
I like Dan.
No, you don't. How come you don't want Dan? Just tell me. Tell me the truth, or I'm going to bring him back.
I like Dan.
How come you don't like him?
I like Dan. Don't put me in that position. I like Dan. Dan and I work together just fine.
Okay. So how come you don't want me to bring him back?
I just think you get a lot more hours of work out of Trey.
Yeah, but there are hours that I get a lot of hours out of him, but I don't get any product. Today was an absolute 3 things went on. Can you imagine if all of this happened, the keyboard and the 2 guests and then the Tommy Young, what's her name?
Tommy Young West.
Yeah.
Young West.
All happened at once on Ron Chapman's show?
Oh, Jesus.
You think Chapman would let it go with a rocket launch out of a beehole?
No. Jody Dean would have found God sooner. With a cart machine up his butt. No, he wouldn't have.
I may have to let him go. I don't know what else to do.
That was a very awkward moment with the singer in here.
And
that needs to be
I don't
laid
understand why you thought we needed a fart right in the middle of all of that. Why didn't you pee on her feet while you were at it?
I was tense.
I don't fart when I'm tense. I can just drop your pants and just water down her feet. Hey, you know what? I don't think things are bad enough, and you're really embarrassed right now. How about if I just soak down your sandals?
Broke the tension. Gave Eddie something to laugh at.
Pull out your weenie and squeeze it so the whole thing's oh solo mio. Why start with just...
Hold on a minute. I'm sorry.
Why start with just farting in the studio?
I'm sorry. It just wasn't... It was an accident, truly. Stop it. Oh, man.
Eddie, stop it. Eddie had to do the police fire thing.
We're going to run long. Alert the Liz Wild Show.
Do what?
Alert the Liz Wild Show. We're going to be long.
You all right?
I am sorry if I further embarrassed you.
It's quite all right. There was nothing else could be done. Why did he pick stuff like this to go off on?
I don't know. There's certain things strike him. Is it Del Solomio?
Yeah.
Oh, that did it.
Why don't you load up the last batch of spots and then go find some place to relax.
To finish.
Yeah, and you can send the bagpipe guys in.
I'm sorry if I made a bad situation worse.
That's quite all right.
Thank you.
Come on in, guys.
I still can't breathe.
What is the website so we don't forget?
FWSRPD.org.
Write that down.
SWSRPD.
Yeah, Fort Worth Scotch Rite Pipes and Drums.
Okay. I think there's a link off of my website to you guys.
I think it might be the old one.
Did it change?
Yeah, we changed. It's either .org, .com, or .net. So
we'll fix it.
FWSRPD.
All right. Move the mics around.
Need to level, or you still have
You know what? Let me go ahead and, it's been a while since you got in here. Give me a level. Got it. All right. You ready with the camera?
Yep.
Okay. And you guys know. Single. All three. Single. And you guys know no Irish jig at the end.
Okay, hold on.
All right. I'm going to read this, and when I'm done. Yes. Simple enough. Okay. God, I should have started drinking 45 minutes ago. You ready, John? All right, because this will be the only time that I'm going to do this on the air. Okay. And then we're getting the hell out of here.
Okay.
This is a speech that I read at the police fire thing earlier this year. Why anybody wants to hear it, I don't know.
This is very touching, and it's great.
Even Bob Dickinson from across the street at WB, who's editing the DVD for us,
right.
He was shocked at the speech. It's like,
yeah, he said, "Who wrote it?" And he went, "I did." He goes, "Wow, that was good." He said, "I could be nice." It was very good.
All right,
it's very touching.
All right, here we go. Only time. I've never liked the term public servant. You watch over our homes, our families, our country. You allow us to sleep with a secure feeling at night, knowing that if we need you, you're going to be there. And I can't imagine what it would be like, the police, the fire, the military, if you weren't there. So whether you like it or not, instead of public servants, you're public guardians. When we're in trouble, you're one of the first people that we call. More often than not, you're the last one that we think. Many times we expect you to assess, analyze, and correct something that, in mere moments, that it took us years to screw up. And after the events of September 11th, we depend on you even more now. And for some inane reason, we deem athletes, actors, rock stars, we deem those people to be heroes. And I'm not sure what jackass logic that came from. These people aren't our heroes. The police, the fire, the military, you guys are our heroes. When I think of the absolute essence of a true American, I think of you. And for whatever reason, we always seem to wait until someone is gone to pay tribute or to honor them. So that's why we did the parade. It was to correct that. It was to honor you now while you're here to understand our appreciation. For each time you went back into that blazing home to make sure it was empty of people and pets. For each time you placed yourself in harm's way to protect us with little regard for your own safety. For each time you watched over our waterways, our skies, or stepped onto foreign soil to ensure our safety at home. For each and every time you were there for us and no one said thank you. Thank you. All right. I appreciate the fact that you guys were here with us today. Very seldom will you hear me say this. God damn the people that did this to our country. And God bless America. See you guys tomorrow. See you. Was that too tense?
That was pretty good. No, that's good. Very touching.
Let's go ahead and end with the plugs.
Do that.
I was just going to let it go. It just felt weird.
Why?
I don't know.
Because it was honest?
Yeah.
We'll quit that.
I intend to.
Okay.
Plus, I got the cuss.
Thanks to Tim Powers at timpowers.com for the legal information today. The music, almost, by One Love Entertainment. And I'm sorry, Tommy... Young West, thank you. One Love, LUV, entertainment.com. Bagpipes, FWSRPD.com. For more information about the Russ Martin Show, to email us individually. Anything else, go to russmartin.com. To get answers to any questions, and possibly even the speech again on tomorrow, go to russmartin.info. Instant email during the show at studio@russmartin.com. Other show sites, johndavidryan.com, eddieboyd.com, treytrenholm.com, danantasos.com, gaillightfoot.com. And let's see here, what else do we do today? Live1053.com is pretty much everything else.
All right, see you guys later.
We'll see you.